No, I've not changed my mind, no. And even if I means going back to the way we were before the white man came.
Okay, so you're not talking about a federation when you say a confederation. You're not talking about a federation as part of Nigeria. You're talking about total independence.
Absolute independence.
Complete independence. Now, is there anything that can happen that will make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
So it is either Biafra or nothing else?
Or death, yes.
Or death?
That's correct.
If push comes to shove,
yes,
will you go to war?
No, because truth is a far more potent and deadlier weapon than bullets and mortars.
So
truth.
No war? You've ruled out the...
Absolutely, I don't believe in war, no. No war. When I say Biafra or death, I'll keep pushing. Either I am alive, I die in the process, I won't stop. Allow me to repeat, if you don't mind. Had sovereign national conference been convened by the powers that be, where every ethnic nation, I said every, I don't care if there are 600, I don't care. Everyone is
all the 500 plus.
Everyone together to say this is all, others can delegate, I don't know, powers to other people to attend on their behalf. Sit down to say, what type of country do we want? Sit down, discuss, agree. I can begin to perhaps submit to your position.
Is it too late?
It is way too late. They've killed too many people. They've ruined too many lives. They've wasted too many souls. How do we bring those people back?
If the federal government, given the agitation that is going on, becomes convinced that, you know what, these people have a point, it is time to actually address all these issues, and they begin to systematically address some of these issues, would you change your mind?
No, because of the deceptions of the past.
No trust?
No trust. Aburi was there, it was negotiated. Nothing happened, 1968, if I recall. And the confab report, what became of it? How about the 3 R's, reconciliation, reconstruction, and heaven knows what else? What became of them? Nothing. Calabar Seaport is not working. Can you tell me why it's not working? It's a seaport used by the colonial masters. Why is it not working today? How about Iguacha Seaport? Why is it not being used? Why not worry? Why must we allow only Lagos to function as a viable seaport? In England, where I used to live, you had Liverpool, you had the Sun, which is Portsmouth, Southampton, everywhere. You had harbors and ports. So why must you have only one?
I've heard people say these are very valid arguments, and that these are things that are to do with bad governance. So the average Biafran, to use your phrase, or Igbo man in the Igbo, is facing poverty much in the same way that the average guy in Yobe State is facing poverty. And so these are issues of governance. You don't agree with that?
I agree completely.
Okay. So if that is it, why isn't the agitation about tackling the problem, which is ensuring good governance, perhaps starting from locally? Because part of the allegations against you is that you don't confront your political leaders in the East, and you'd like to blame Abuja for everything.
Because the way I would want to solve a problem is not how a Fulani man would want to solve it.
You really believe this is an ethnic thing, and the approach is different?
No, the approach is different. No, it's not ethnic. It is more to do with value system.
Right.
The way you may want to solve a problem could be markedly different from how I do mine.
What is the geographical makeup of Biafra, as far as you are concerned, this Biafra that you want? So, for example, if we're doing a referendum, where will that referendum take place? Is it only the 5?
No.
It's okay.
It's on which is River State, Bayelsa, Delta, Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, Cross River.
Akwa Ibom?
And Akwa Ibom, of course, Akwa Ibom. Yes.
Right.
Those are the coasters. Basically,
Bayelsa?
Yes. Southeast and South-South without Edo State.
Without Edo State.
That's correct. And then including Igede, Idoma.
Right, the Benues. So
That's
the
correct.
Igalas and part of the Kogi,
Yes.
Kogi State, right?
Yeah.
Nyesom Wike, the governor of Anambra, sorry, the governor of River State, made a statement, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday,
yes, I heard about it.
and said, you know, you should not be including River State
It's for
and
the people of River State
the
to decide,
people.
not him. I can't decide for Biafrans. They have to go and vote and convince the whole world that they want Biafra. It's not for instance, it's only one man, one vote.
What if they're not even willing to take part in the referendum? Because I've had people from the South-South, for example, from Bayelsa. I've had people from Cross River. I think there's a famous actress, Kate Henshaw, for example, wrote a long piece about why people of the South-South don't want to be dragged into a place called Biafra. You're saying, regardless of what they say, you want a referendum in those parts?
Because I know the majority of the people want a referendum. I was in Iguacha yesterday.
How do you know?
I was there yesterday. I was in Iguacha yesterday. You call Port Harcourt. I was there yesterday. I should have been there to see what happened.
Now,
They were delighted to see me. I'm sure you know that. It's all over the place. They're very happy to see me. I bet Kate Henshaw wouldn't get such reception were she to go to
she's a
Iguacha.
big, popular Nollywood actress. I wouldn't necessarily...
I'm telling you, if I go to her village, people will turn out to see me more than turn out to see her.
Biafra, which kind of government do you want? And the one we are calling Kanu, do you know he has 2 passports? One Nigerian, one British, and he came to this country without using any passport. Do you know he brought an equipment into this country, a sophisticated equipment, and was broadcasting for Radio Biafra? Which kind of government do you want to have?
But we wrote an editorial against him in Premium Times.
What?
Premium Times wrote editorial against his radio station and called on the federal government to stop that.
So he should be given bail to go away. There's a treasonable felony against him, and I hope the court will listen to the case.
Okay, Your Excellency, well, we do have...
And they killed 7 people. What actually pains us most is it has already been in record that the Moravul man has never attempted attacking a person. We have never done that. We've been piping our youths. And indeed, the Moravul man is a law-abiding person. Yet, these people, they are persisting. What actually is paining us most is when our youth, stand to defend, to react, the security personnel are fighting us. They are fighting us. Most of the casualties in the hospitals, they were injured by these soldiers. I don't actually know. Have they come to secure the life of people or to fight the people? Knowingly that the Fulani man is the man that is always attacking us. They knew, and they have done nothing about it. Besides that also, I want to say this to your hearing, Commissioner of Police. Hear this very, very well. The people used to come with sophisticated weapons. Sophisticated weapons. I have an exhibit of what happened. What is this? What color? Which color is this? Is this not army green? This is what they use. But when our boys will stand with their local, I say local, just local made gun to protect their land, your people will fight them and will also collect it. We are bitter about that one. We are bitter about that one. And so we want to say this categorically, that if these people will not, if they will not support us, if they will not support us, please clear them away. What happened at Yambas? What happened at Yambas? The soldiers were sending our youth away, and the Fulani people were burning our houses, and they didn't stop them. And they just stood, and they allowed them to burn our houses. Nothing was done about that. Sir, enough is enough. What this woman has just said, I want to emphasize on that. People saw it. After the killings, the soldiers brought 3 hillocks, and they convey all the Fulani man back. How do we interpret that? That is our grievances. Thank you for coming, creating your time to come.
Should we do now is what we should be talking about. Not all this politicking, spreading money around, being silly with our future. Indeed. The same thing I spoke on just a minute. I spoke on this program some years ago when an Al-Qaeda member was appointed a federal minister in Nigeria. And I remember I said it publicly because we are living sacrifices. Why is that happening in a nation? And why are we pretending?
Indeed, Reverend Thompson.
Some few years ago, I warned that the armed forces are either not capable or unwilling to protect us, and that we must defend ourselves. The first denial of what I said came from the Ministry of Defense. They said I was lying. And they set up a kangaroo board of inquiry to investigate the truth or otherwise of what I spoke. And they invited me to come and testify. I did not go. They wrote their report which said that I was only speculating, that there was no evidence. And now there is evidence. The whole country now is being run and overrun. They are trying to recolonize us and take over our land. Can I allow you to defend yourselves? Your Majesty, you've heard what they've said. You must then unite our people. A lot of the attacks that I got was from our people. They said I told them to defend themselves. I didn't give them arms. I will not give you arms. Find out how these people who have it got it. Use the same means to defend you, to defend yourselves.
We will not condone it. Anybody that has uttered any words that touches the integrity of the Holy Prophet, we will punish him. And let me tell you one thing, this man will be executed if this court, upon the decisions of the law, will execute him.
The case has drawn national and international attention.
Let them come. Let Trump come with his America, and with you people, you all die. That one will assure you, you people will die here. It will be your graveyard. We always tell you, we don't just talk, we perform. Allow the Americans to come. Which America? We are growing up with that 12 days war. How many days war had gone? We will finish. When the time comes, you know whether we'll be able to engage Chief. You know whether we'll be able to engage America. Maybe they'll fly. They'll
Hello there. Welcome to another edition, special edition in this case. We will be trying to look at all the goings on right now in our great country, Nigeria, and how the situation is being handled. If you leave me, I will say that we just try to rush this through. It's not, as we would have loved it to be much earlier, and indeed more materials. But at least we will, like they say, we will flow with the punches. So you are welcome. My name is KJ, and it's good to have all of you on this special edition. Of course, we're going to start with the major advertisement, which is the case concerning Nnamdi Kanu and how far it has gone. Earlier today, it was a very shocking moment for a lot of people in Nigeria, and we want to capture that moment. For one reason or the other, the video I loaded up from, where Barrister Lawyer Ajimako was speaking and the rest of the barristers. I can't seem to find it. That's actually what delayed me. But having said that, we will go ahead and we will flow, like I said, with the punches. Here is how we start. Nnamdi Kanu appeared today in court and, of course, ready to defend himself. But when he, was asked to start his defense, he had questions for which he had already submitted as a writing to the presiding judge, Justice Omotosho. This is my advice to Justice Omotosho. There was a certain time in Israel when Jesus was presented before the Pontius Pilate. And of course, having looked at Jesus, he knew that Jesus didn't have any sin or have committed any crime. But at the same time, because he wanted to please the people, he chose to go ahead with the case. Having chosen to go ahead with the case, at night, the Lord warned his wife in a dream. Say, if you know what is good, tell her husband to remove his hands from that case. So whilst they were having the next meeting on deciding what to do, the wife came up to him and said, excuse me, sir, I have a small message for you. Remove your hand from this case. So Pontius Pilate asked for a bowl of water and washed off his hand and said, his sin will not be on my head. It is evil you want to commit will not be on my head. So the whole of Israel shouted, let it be upon our head and our children. And so it was, and history was made. So we will say, if you ask me, I will advise Justice Omotosho, because he's still a very young man who hopes to go far in the judiciary. If you do not see anything, do not allow anybody to push you into committing a sin that will go beyond you and your your children. It will go right into your generations and generations to come. I don't know why in Nigeria we like to play politics with people's lives. Anyway, let me not go ahead of myself. So what happened today? Justice Omotosho asked Nnamdi Kanu to open his defense, and Nnamdi Kanu said, well, I have written document which I have presented to you, and that document deserves your response. And the response in it, I have not received. So how do you want me to open my case when what I have asked for has not been responded to? What is he asking? He was asking that they should give him the status on which he's being charged, so I can know how to defend himself appropriately. Okay. Unfortunately, like we eventually learned, the status for which he's being charged, according to Nnamdi Kanu, does not exist in Nigerian law, and it's a trumped up charges. And that charge, a lawyer said it was on penal code number 45, which other lawyers have said does not exist in the Nigerian law. Well, many others also will argue to say, yes, it doesn't mean that it must be written in black and white. Well, we are not in England. If we were in England, that would be true. But in Nigeria, the penal code or the Nigerian constitution said that before you are charged for any crime, you must know the crime in which you are being charged. So I cannot just wake up, take you to court, and frame something up, and then put you in prison. But like we have said on this channel, it seems to us, and this is our view, or this is my view, that the government and its officials have decided what they want to do to Nnamdi Kanu. So no matter what he does, they have only one place. They want to prosecute him. They want to jail him. So the justice now, listening to Nnamdi Kanu's argument, decided to put up his own argument, which is as follows. I will read it out. At the end of today's session, Justice Omotosho came up with 4 points. Okay, the points he ruled is this. Justice Omotosho gave Nnamdi Kanu one final opportunity to open his defense against terrorism charges, warning that failure to do this so by the next day, which is tomorrow, November 5th, will result in forfeiture of his right to defend himself. Kanu, representing himself after his lawyers withdrew. No, his lawyer didn't withdraw. You see, this is why I also have a problem with the Nigerian media. You write what is not true. They first said that Nnamdi Kanu refused to enter defense. No, Nnamdi Kanu did not refuse to enter defense. He said that for him to appropriately defend himself, he needs to know the charges. And because there's no status on which they are being charged, they could not tell him, okay, this is what we are charging you for. Even if you go to court, in fact, you are read your rights. You are read the offense which you are being charged. Even for those of us who live abroad, even though no matter how racist the person who is stopping you or who is trying to do it, he will read your charges to you. Get away. Sorry. My son is trying to disturb me. When you read your charges to you, that you will hear why he's charging you, and when you get to the court, they will still read it to you. So I find it a bit interesting that the judge could not tell Nnamdi Kanu verbatim, Oga, this is the charge against you, and this is what they are prosecuting you for. Anyway, so insisting that there was no valid or extant law under which he was being charged, being tried, and refused to present a defense. He didn't refuse to. Again, he said he's waiting for the judge or the prosecutor, that in other words, the federal government, to tell him exactly what the charge is and where he can find that charge in the Nigerian constitution. Now, the judge acknowledged the receipt of new documents, motion filed by Kanu, which Kanu have filed, saying, look, I have a judgment against the federal government, from which it was said I was illegally renditioned and all that. And all the judgment that I have in my favor, why is the court not implementing it? They are more interested in taking me and just pushing me as much as possible, just as quick as they can, push him into the dungeon. That's what they're trying to do. Okay, if not, why do you pick and choose the laws in which you respond to, the law which you agree to? By the way, I want to put it on notice. Since this case began, since the days of Binta Nyako, Binta Nyako ruled more than 7 times that Nnamdi Kanu should be moved to the prison facility. As we speak, Nnamdi Kanu is still under the DSS detention facility, where he can't even have a private conversation with his lawyer, where people who want to assist him with the case are not allowed to come in, where they are restricted and every voice conversation is being monitored, where the lawyers, when they come for briefing, don't come in with their notes or biro. They come and listen and go. How do you, for crying out loud? Nnamdi Kanu must be one of the most dangerous people on earth. If not, I don't know why the state is paying so much attention and trying by every means to perpetuate evil upon him. And sometimes people are angry when people call us, a asshole country. Why are you angry? These are how animals behave. You have not even found the man guilty, yet you have perpetrated evil unimaginable to him. We're not talking about even how he was brought in, how he was tortured for 8 days, how he was drugged. We're not talking about that. So what is the reason for which Nnamdi Kanu is going through this perpetual punishment? Because the man, by the end of this year, would have probably spent 5 years, minus the other ones which I spent before, in the detention, bringing the case to 10 years since this has been going back and forth. If you think that the federal government have credible evidence, don't you think that it would have taken them this long to be able to put him away? Well, the judge acknowledged that he has that document which Nnamdi Kanu had written. Why he's not considering it, he said he's going to consider it at the end of the time when it comes to ruling. Nnamdi Kanu said, no, that's not the procedure. And which I tried to talk to some lawyers before coming here. They said that's not the procedure. At each time you can introduce any new evidence to a case as long as the court case has not been closed. So Nnamdi Kanu was again right in that order. Omotosho clarified that whilst Nnamdi Kanu invoked section 36(12) of the Constitution, which protects against conviction for offenses not defined by law, this issue would be only determined during judgment. You see, that's where I find difficult to even hear that a lawyer of the magnitude of Justice Omotosho, okay, let's have his picture here. Okay, I find it difficult that a lawyer of this magnitude, a judge of this magnitude, can put up such. I'm not a lawyer, but it doesn't sound, because we have heard other legal cases, and each time a person brings up an argument, it is addressed before you move forward. You don't wait till everything comes in before you go at the final day of judgment. Then you now begin to address those things. That is how you know that it's not going the way it should be. Anyway, and they clarified that he will now bring that evidence, he will bring the judgment when he's finally giving his judgment, and not at this stage. The judge emphasized that Kanu should be given the chance to seek legal counsel, but set a firm deadline for him to act. Otherwise, the court will proceed without his defense. Tell me, gentlemen and ladies, let us just look at simple arithmetic. The federal government, with all the federal might, they have the monopoly of violence, of security, of information, of every other thing. For 10 years, has not been able to prosecute Kanu. Okay? This judge wants Kanu to do his defense in six days. I mean, even the person who does it, any common man can see that it's not right. Shouldn't the defense have more time to do his defense, since you are the one accusing him? Okay, but you are giving him 6 days. But the federal government have taken more than 10 years to prosecute Nnamdi Kanu. and you are giving him 6 days and insisting it has to be 6 days. And the person has called witnesses, as some of them are in Nigeria, some of them are abroad, and you want him to do it in 6 days. Okay? And what I find difficult to accept is the fact that each time the rules seem to be bending, and when it has to do with Nnamdi Kanu. Anyway, so in the final analysis, the case was adjourned to tomorrow, and the final date for Nnamdi Kanu to open his defense or be deemed to have waived that right. Gentlemen and ladies, I will now go ahead and invite people in so we can have a chew on this. The other case that is quite, pertinent, or rather also burning in Nigeria, is the case of Donald Trump and the Nigerian government. The Nigerian government have decided on their way or their approach. However, people like our brother is ready to go to war and deal with Americans. And that's why he told us in this, courtesy of this video from Diola.
Come. Let Trump come with his America, and with you people, you all die. That one will assure you, you people will die here.
Okay, so you see how stupid, unadvised, ill-informed individuals speak because they have mouth. You see, these are the people who bring us, disrepute. Even China, that is a world power, will not speak to, the American president that way. And it's most unfortunate. Some of them, like Sheikh Gumi, have said all kinds of things, and many of them are still saying many more things we are going to examine here today. And it's unfortunate. You see, there's a scripture in the Bible that says that woe unto a city in whose king is a child. This is what we are saying. And the English people put it this way: for a want of a shoes, the war is lost. So for a want of wise people, you can see what our nation have become. They have become moimoi. They have become akamu, people talking anyhow because they have mouth. If you could take on America, and you can't take on Richter army that's been ravaging your country for the past 15 years. Ravaging your country for the past 15 years. Even you people in the creek, you have not been able to take care of the ones in the creek. You have not been able to, and you are looking for America to come. The same America that came and rescued the one that people took for this thing within 48 hours. Everything was done. You didn't know they came. It's like when somebody go outside, you flex muscle with wind. If you see the wind, they are going to you will deal with it. Meanwhile, the wind is all through, around you. It's around you. Anyway, let me send a link so that we all can get in and have a discussion, a very robust one, I think, also. And from there, we know how to navigate this ship, because it's really been a 24 hours of a lot of stuff going on. Of course, the killings is still going on. Yesterday, early today, there was a strike in part of Benue, the part of Benue that, and of course, there was also killings in Plateau. I have some of those details, but they are very gory. I cannot show them. But I have other pictures of villages burnt, and so that if you want to, we can equally have it on. And so that's going to be generally what we're going to be discussing, except of course any other person have something else to put up, and we'll discuss it. Let me welcome our first guest, who is Jagun himself. This is the first time Jagun is coming. Very first time. Oh, okay. Sorry, you can put on your shirt now, Jagun. They can come to you. All right, so that's it. The question I've always asked is this: is Nnamdi Kanu so important that he's taking all this attention, and the whole gamut of government is queued towards him? to make sure that he is one person who does not see the light of day. And yet we have terrorists running helter-skelter around Nigeria and are still committing atrocities and evil unimaginable around the nation. Yet nobody is doing nothing to them. And yet we are after this young man, Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, Jagun, it's good to see you. It's good to also see you, comrade. Well, you have heard or you have seen some of the videos I played, and I'm going to go back to some of them. I don't know how they managed to delete themselves, but maybe it's me, my fault. So you have heard what the issues are. The Nigerian Senate is making plans to come to America to defend and present cases against that there's no genocide, there's no killing, and by the way, both sides are being killed. That story is still being going ahead. The Nigerian media have become very complicit, because right now every discussion you hear on the media is telling you the reason why you should not call it a Christian genocide, because the other side is being killed also, and that government is doing its best. I have never seen, I know that the media is not straight, but this is embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. So let's hear from Jagun before we go to our comrade.
Good evening to you. It's 2 o'clock in the morning here, which is my kind of time in certain ways, but it's very late. So I was quite surprised to see you had a show. Well, I think it's good to have a show at the same time. I'm kind of perplexed, KJ. I'm perplexed and grossly disappointed again with the way Nigeria conducts itself politically, internationally and nationally. I've always said it, and you said it for the first time. I know you don't like to be abusive and such like, but some things need to be spoken as they are, which is the stupidity of our nation. I find it too late. I find it too late in the day for Nigeria to behave as though as it's behaving right now. The problem of the insurgencies, the problem of displacement, the problem of Fulani herdsmen, the problem of Boko Haram, it's all been going on for far too long. The problem of killings has all been going on for far too long. It is the Europeans that said, really, that there's a Christian genocide that's going on, not the Nigerians. The Nigerians have just jumped on that bandwagon because they're desperate. Nigerians will say anything. As you've heard all kinds of scripts being run throughout the nation. None of them make sense. None of them make sense. It only makes sense if we did this before. Why do we have to wait for this moment for another round of pointing the finger at each other? Is that what we're doing again? Is that what we're going to do? I mean, we are a disgraceful bunch. We know we're a disgraceful bunch. There is so much to speak about on this level. I'll just land there for my first. There's only 3 of us. Let me just land there and see what our comrade has to say. And we go round and round, I suppose. Thank you, Kate.
All right. Thank you so much. And I also have to point out that Shore showed up in Lagos, and there's this conspiracy to try to take him out in Lagos by the touts in Lagos. And of course, when you hear that kind of thing, you know that the people at the helm of affairs, their hands are also in it. So that is the Nigeria that we have. Those people who put up their head to try to challenge the status quo are made to be, they are demonized and they are chased around. Meanwhile, if those people do not exist, people like Shore do not exist, society becomes, like a sea water. It doesn't have any force or power to propel it to a right direction. Whether we like it or not, Shore stands, has a flower. He has flowers to be given to him in the annals of Nigerian history. Whether anybody likes it or not, whether you call him whatever you want to call him, but without such people, the society, don't progress. So let's hear from Comrade. Comrade, did you hear about that news that some group of people organized themselves to try and harm Shore while he was in Lagos? Yeah, you're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. KJ. Good evening, Mr. Jago. It's always a pleasure being here.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I saw the video, the audio, and the voice of the person is a voice of one notorious Tinubu thug in Lagos. Sometimes each time I come to this platform or wherever I have the opportunity to speak, I always want to say the problem is not much of our leaders. Is that what?
We have two audio coming from you because I tried to shut Jaguar and myself, but it was
two audio.
Yeah, you have two on.
Let me log out and come back. Let me log out and come back.
It's in the background.
Okay.
You have it.
Yeah, a lot of people in the house. Let me leave here and go. Let me go to my car.
Okay.
You should go upstairs.
Okay.
You see,
yeah.
KJ, I too saw the show raise something. Everybody's life is in the balance, and that's what keeps us all in fear. Because anybody who stands up, he stands up in fear to lose his life, his or her life. But you see, that is the way to freedom. If we're not risking anything, if we're not going to sacrifice, there is no freedom. Now, I ask you, brother, is it better that Trump comes into Nigeria? I mean, I don't believe he is. I believe it's a bit of bluster, a lot of bluster, in order to stop our potential. But tell me this: is it not better for Nigerians to revolt rather than have USA boots on our ground? I have to ask this question.
Okay, yes,
because you see what they did in Afghanistan.
Here's my personal opinion. The United States have not said they want to put boots on ground. You see, these are just the media playing up for emotions among their people. I don't want to use the word that comes in the gesticulation of a he-goat. That's what I call it. Okay? Because why would they put boots on ground? Did they put boots on ground to take billionaires' money out? Did they put boots on ground? We are living in a modern world. As I'm talking to you, Jago, right now, if you want to trace my house, all you need to do is go to Google. If you have my phone number, you will see wherever the phone is, you know I'm there. So, do they need to be in Nigeria? No. They don't need to. And the people say, oh yes, thank God, the American base in Niger no longer there. You forget that they have a warship that carries plane that can launch from anywhere. So it's not even practicable. They're not interested.
No, I'll tell you this, KJ. Let's have a small conversation. I'll tell you this, my bro, is that, you see, I think you've understood that to fight terrorists, which is what we're up against, they're not coming to fight the Nigerian army. They say that wait. They're coming to fight terrorists. Now, I know that they have a lot of technology at their fingertips, but to fight terrorists is not easy. They're not conventional in any way. So what are they coming to bomb? Where are they coming to bomb? And are they not going to be taking out more so-called Christians or just bombing everyone willy-nilly? It's not going to work. What President?
And let me help. When I used to, one of my interviews with Rotimi Amechi when he was governor, he showed us it was just like a 40-feet crate. Okay, why he brought people and was telling us, look, this militant thing, I don't know what they are. Look at. These people just light up the whole place, and everything shows in their map. So we know that those kind of technology is there. Okay, that's one. Two, remember that the senator, there's a member of the House of Rep whose video have been trending, last week, where he was saying when Jonathan was in government, they brought 30 mercenaries, 30 of them, just 30 of them, and they were sitting with laptops, and they identify these people. They send 3 of their people, go there, and they take them out. It was the North that went to say this thing will stop. So what were they trying to say? They were trying to say that he was saying that it's for their own selfish reason why this thing has continued. General Hejrika was retired from the army. I can tell you that one with this thing, because the North decided that he was accused of trying to replay the Biafran War, Nigerian Biafran War, taking a revenge on the North. So he was forced out of the army by, of course, Jonathan retired him because the North requested that he be taken out. So what I'm trying to say is this army is not sophisticated. And I'll give you my final example with this. We were talking we had a conference, one of those experts those days, and the guy said, look, let us take the issue of the Chibok girls into cognizance. He said, how many are they? There are 300 girls. How many does a coastal bus sit? Because they say they came in coastal buses. How many people enters one coastal bus? If coastal bus carries 16 passengers, or let's say you push plenty of them, it carries another 16. That is making it double. It will be what? It will be 36 out of 300. So you have one coastal bus. How many coastal buses carry 300 plus the people who came to arrest them? So he's saying to you, if those coastal buses put on their lights, are you saying that nobody has a area view of where he went to? Those coastal buses just drove into oblivious. Nobody saw them. Nobody know where they went to. You see, so he said, look at it practically. Don't look at it from what they are telling you. Look at it practically. How practical is it that you came at the 12, as it was claimed, they came at 2 a.m. and whisked these girls away. They didn't match them with legs, so they say, okay, they came in coastal buses. So the question be, are you saying that the satellite pictures, image of that area could not be pictured, could not be gotten? And then let's you see, maybe when I get a more proper preparation, I'll show you a picture of the Nigerian border between Nigeria and Niger. Okay, and I'll show you a picture of the Sambisa, so-called Sambisa forest. You think it's a mighty forest? These are shrubs. There's no, apart from around the Mambla Plateau, you don't have any real forest in the north. So when they say Sambisa forest,
it's north. Okay, it's more north. It's more northeast, which borders with Cameroon, rather than Niger. It's not.
Hold on, it's northeast, but the question is, they did not travel on foot; they went in buses.
Well, but that's still not. That's still, with all due respect, that is still not my argument. We've seen conflict. Wait. I know there are other people here. Good evening, everybody. I know there are. I'm just going to say this short thing.
Okay.
Which is to say, we've seen other conflict in the world, and we know that they have dragged on. They thought that they understood the terrain of Afghanistan. Afghanistan is bare, but the Afghanis knowing more than anybody else. That's why they were able to drag that whole thing on for years and years. The terrorists in Nigeria who are pushing these things, they know the terrain better than any American. Americans, as you rightly put it, are not going to put boots on the ground. So how, and we also know that there are also political violences within the structures of all these terrorists. So who are they targeting? All these questions need to be asked before they start doing anything.
Let me say this, Jagu. It's not going to be Americans have come to rescue one of the Americans that was kidnapped by Boko Haram. I hope you know that. And they came in.
Well, that was easy. By themselves, without any permission, they broke all international laws and came into our nation and did what they did. Fair enough. I understand what happened. They've got the technology to do it. I'm not saying that they don't. And the Nigerian army. Okay, the Nigerian army and the Nigerian, they're weak. They're rubbish. You see that idiot? What's his name? From Ijo or something and the other. See the rubbish he's talking. That's how we behave. Talking rubbish. I mean, look. He said, "Let the Americans come." And I mean, if Americans came to fight Nigeria, Nigeria has no defense against them. So I don't know all these rubbish boasting that we like doing all the time. We're not conscious. We're not a conscious people. We're a damn foolish, idiotic country with damn foolish, idiotic leaders and damn foolish, idiotic people. So it's full stop. Thank you.
Thank you. Moyere, you're back with us. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm back. The environment was kind of noisy. The background was very noisy. So yes. I have to take a leave.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. You were asking me about the threat on the threat on Moyele's life. Yes, he started about a few months ago. They've been on it. They tried it in Abuja. They've been organizing. They feel he's doing too much. He's becoming the flesh on their tongue. Somebody even said if they had known, Tinubu shouldn't have free him, even when they had no case against him. Just the same way they detaining Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They should have kept him behind bars. A lot of things have been on. It's about 3 months ago, we're already aware of various attempts. These people are they are deadly. They are not as, you see them. They are not human beings. They have powers and principalities in the higher places. The only way that's why each time I come here, sometimes when I speak, people think have a special interest in Omoyele Sowore. Some people call Omoyele, they call me a messenger or an agent of Omoyele Sowore. They don't even know this guy in question might not even be able to recognize me when he sees me. The last time I saw Omoyele Sowore one-on-one was in our Just convention, early 90s. Was it 91 or 1990? No, late 80s, So Omoyele doesn't have my number. He doesn't have my, but for somebody to be consistently fighting in that lion's den for 35 years, bro, it will take an extra conviction for me to believe you that he's this is that. You saw what he wrote yesterday. No, I don't agree with him on what he wrote. You saw the way he spoke against Trump, right? Can CIA be paying agent like that? And we still have the guts to speak against his masters, Mr. KJ. Do you believe that? So tomorrow now, a lot of people will take him on now. Oh, he's doing the bidding of Jagaban. His paymaster, that has always been his paymaster. Even when he tried the first time to contest, that was the allegation against him. Oh, he's fronting for Tinubu. He's Tinubu's boy. This is somebody I know. Moyele, if he says yes, it's yes. If he's going, he's going. I don't want to, I would have cited like 10 instances before I said, no, this is a human being. Even in the struggle, when IPOB tried to infiltrate the student unionism by bringing coastal buses and 504, the Peugeot 504, I knew people that were willing to accept the offer. I knew those that were able to resist it to a reasonable extent. So before I say this is somebody I can vouch for, I know you cannot fake, activism for 35 years. And this is even a country. If they give you anything today, you speak against them tomorrow, they perceive you not to do their bidding, they will reveal you. I gave an instance here one day. The musician that sang Nigeria Jaga Jaga and everywhere Skata, his mother was ill. So Keyamo was one of us in the trenches. He felt he could confide in Keyamo. He sent a cordial message to Keyamo if he could be of financial assistance to him. You know, when the guy sang another thing that was not comfortable with Ekoyamo, he started releasing the screenshot of their private conversation of a friend, seeking assistance from another friend. So it will take extra, it will take you, maybe when I'm dead, for you to convince me that this guy is a double agent. How? How is he doing it? How? Look at what he wrote yesterday against Donald Trump. Look at the nonsense he wrote. I didn't believe everything he, I don't believe everything for him look like a thinker. I could see it from the angle of patriotism to a once nation. I could also see it from what we have known Americans to be. But this is not the time to preach patriotism. Like they tried to, gaslight us yesterday. Yesterday's show wasn't easy for us after you left. Some people wanted to tell us that they were more Catholic than the Pope, that they were more patriotic than those of us that put our lives on the line. We're fighting for Nigeria, getting away with tear gas and bullet wounds, people, dying by our side. He took the grace of God for us to be alive. So, the one that is not patriotic are the ones you are supporting. When some people come here to say they are agents of APC, they are not ashamed. They put their picture behind them. They want to tell us before they come here, they dust up one or two books from their gutters. They cram some quotes there, as if they're coming to tutor their pupils in the classroom. They want to quote everything to bamboozle us into a false paradise. When I'm talking to them, he look as if I have personal beef with them. No, nobody can come here and cajole us into a false paradise because we know who they represent. The same people who have the God to say, Omoyele is this, Omoyele is that. You are in America, you are in UK, you are busy supporting that evil in Nigeria. The people that are not patriotic, they are actually you coming here to defend that evil in Nigeria. It's you and your government that has broken the social contract with the people. It's you and the government who has failed to provide security for the people. The primary responsibility of any government, the primary aim of any government is to provide security of life and property. When you fail in that, you are failed in everything. Your coastal road does not matter. The bridges does not matter. The road does not even matter. You stole everything from the people. You supported them because of the crumbs they are giving you. You come here, you want to tell us how much another person is agent to CIA, how much the other person is agent to Tinubu. You rant here from morning to night. You want to confuse us with when some people on the planet, they're actually more learned than you are. Nobody comes here to say I'm this, I'm that. You don't know the people you are coming to talk to. You think you have everything. It will be difficult for somebody to convince me that guy is a double agent. The moment I see you're able to convince me with evidence that it's a double agent, the very day I will discard Omotosho with it. There were attempts, we had a lot of things about him while he was in Unilag. He was this, he was that. We did our research, we did our homework. Most of us have even fizzled out of, the struggle. He's still there. One man standing. A lot of people that most of them that started that struggle, they will start from mercy, they will end up in philosophy. Not because they are done, but because they don't have time for themselves. They don't have time to study. So I know what it takes. Sometimes you are in detention. If you're not in detention, you are one way or the other, trying to organize one or two things. You don't really commit yourself to your academics. They are not done at all. I had one in my school. He started as a medical student. From medical student to chemistry. From chemistry to the other one. From biochemistry, before he died in his course of trying to fight for other fellow students that were resuscitated. So when you come here trying to convince me, most of us have run away because of one issue or the other. The man that left, America, he was, lucky to run away. He made himself back to the lion's den. If you know the magnitude of threat that guy is facing every day, Mr. KJ, you will pity that man and his family. You will pity him and his generation. The amount of threat he has to deal with every day. The amount of hurdles and impediments he has to deal with every day. The amount of threats he has to deal with every day. I feel for him. I worked this afternoon when I listened to that audio. They were speaking in Yoruba. Somebody interpreted to me like, look at what they say. Tell your friend to leave Lagos immediately. I tried to reach him. I couldn't. I have to call Chidi in Canada. Have you heard from Showore? Because the last one I saw from him, he was on News Central. They were telling him, are you going to submit yourself? He said, am I not live now? I'm not running. I'll be calling the commissioner. He's not picking up his phone. A lot of plans against him. They don't want, you see, like they say, in an unjust society, the best place for the just man is the jail. They want to eliminate you by all means. They don't want to hear a decent voice like Komo Yele Shogwere. And we the people that are supposed to be behind him. We the people that are supposed to make us another Yele in our, in our own little ways. We are the ones butchering him every day. He pains me to my bone marrow. He makes me weep. He makes me cry. So each time I come online, I'm not here to blame Tinubu anymore. I'm not blaming Buhari anymore. I'm not blaming our oppressors anymore. I'm not blaming the politicians anymore because I already know who they are. I blame us, the people. We, the people, are the cause of our problem. I rest it there so that my beloved brother, Revolution, can have his shot. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, and God bless you too. Someone was asking me to play the conversation between Darlington, Dr. Darlington of VOP Radio.
Please, KJ, don't do that until everyone has spoken. Hey, Joe, please. I don't know if you can do that for us. There are two people who haven't spoken now.
Hold on now, Jagun. I'm the one doing the thing now. Now, I don't have that video, and I downloaded it. I don't know, part of the videos have disappeared. But I'll try and see if while the other people are going through, if I can get it. It was quite an interesting exchange. Revolution, you are welcome, sir. It's good to see you. And it's also good to see...
the guy first, though.
It's good to see...
I thought it was my turn.
Hold on now. Hold on, sir. Hold on. How do you pronounce your name?
Hi. My name is Negedu.
Negedu.
Yeah.
Okay, Nedu, it's good to see you. Yes, you have heard the outline and what other people have said. Which area you want to, we want to come in? We had a story of Nnamdi Kanu, who the court have insisted that he must enter his defense. We have there was another strike in Benue that took lives of many people. There was another strike in Plateau, in part of Kaduna State today alone. So the people have not given up. In fact, I have the Reverend saying that their new plan is to quickly do it before America gets in. And I'm trying to get that Reverend to be on this program so I can talk about it. But what do you have to say? You are free to, the commissioner of police declared Shure wanted for going to, he didn't even get to the place because before he got there, they have already charged everybody. But the mere fact that he heard that Shure was in Lagos, he declared him wanted. What is the country becoming? I mean, for crying out loud, what is the country becoming, please?
Thank you all. Thank you, KJ, for having me. This is my second time on the show. I'm really troubled about the state of Nigeria, and it's very sad that it's gotten to this point. The way the country is going, I'm going to tell you, I don't see any future for us in Nigeria. The future of the country is going to be, I'm sorry to say this, and I hope it doesn't happen. It's going to be like Sudan. Last time I was on the show, I was talking about how the Islamic government of Sudan armed the RSF Janjaweed to commit genocide in Darfur of the non-Arab tribe. And it's still ongoing till today. And for me, in my mind, I think it's a clear replication of what has happened in Sudan that is going on in Nigeria as we speak today. Those people in Kaduna, Benue, Plateau, especially Benue, if Benue falls, then there is no hope for the Christian population in Nigeria. I don't care what anybody wants to tell me that crisis does not have a religious coloration. It's all gaslighting. Whatever anybody says doesn't matter. Last time I was here, I was trying to explain how the different crises in different parts of Nigeria look like. We talked about the Islamic group, the Boko Haram group in the Northeast, and how currently the population of, basically there are no, the population of the Christians in Borno State has completely been decimated. Many of them are currently in Cameroon, in Chad, in IDPs. And then when you come to the Northwest, we talked about how all the killings that have happened in Northwest, especially in Zamfara, are all due to mining. But what is happening in North Central, especially in Plateau, Benue, Kogi State, is a Fulani jihad invasion. Whoever cares to listen, that is a fact. The sad truth about Nigeria is that the Nigerian government is culpable. We've heard what many people have said in the past. Air Commodore Omowumi said it. He said there's a plan to Islamize Nigeria. What's his name? A lot of people have come out and have said this thing. Baraje, one of the APC chieftain, spoke clearly about how they imported Fulani militias from Central African Republic, from Mauritania, to come to Nigeria and come and cause mayhem. Peter Obi's running mate in this last election was alluding to the same fact, how some people went and met Gaddafi before the fall of Libya. So everybody knows this fact. So when America stood up and said there is Christian genocide in Nigeria, they did not say that out of some lazy propaganda machine to come and invade Nigeria. What resources have we got? Every year, America gives Nigeria at least $1 billion in aid. What does America get in return from Nigeria? Absolutely nothing. They talked about Dangote refinery. I'm sure you've seen lots of videos going around that has completely throw away that argument into the dustbin. Nigeria is strategically located for the jihad. As far as I'm concerned, that's how it is. The Nigerian government is culpable. It doesn't make any sense, KJ, and everybody on the panel. How can you catch 400 Boko Haram terrorists and reintegrate them back into society and put some of them back into our military? Which kind of sensible government does that? No, it doesn't make sense. If they explain Nigerian to you people, if they explain Nigerian to somebody that has never been in Nigeria, it doesn't make sense. It's a walking contradiction. How do you intend to win the fight against terrorism? Clearly, in broad daylight, people are having meetings properly armed with government officials. And you're talking about that there is no plan to Islamize Nigeria, to take over our land. As far as we are concerned, this is a continuation of the jihad that Danfodio was not able to complete. You remember that the people that stopped Danfodio from going beyond North Central into the southern part of Nigeria, especially in the southeast, were the thieves.
Yes.
They fought him to a standstill. Today now they are being decimated because these people are completely infiltrated the government. They've got the arms of government to continue what they are doing. So when America says that Nigeria is now a disgraced country, they are saying it from a point of lots of intelligence. These people know that some people in the government are compromised. Good luck, Jonathan even said it. So why are we here talking about we don't want America's help? Whoever does not want America's help is a terrorist sympathizer. Simple. Because how do you expect Nigeria to win a war against itself? The Nigerian government cannot fight this terrorism because there are saboteurs in government. It just doesn't make, some people will tell us that we don't understand geopolitics and all those nonsense. But what we do understand is that people are dying. I will tell you this for free. Before I left Nigeria, when I was in medical school in 2006, most of my classmates that were from the north, a very good proportion of them were Christians from Borno State. We had 3 people that were in my class that were from Borno State. 2 of them were Christians. Gombe, 2 of them were Christians. Loads and loads. If you go back to Ahmadu Bello University today, you'll find it difficult to count Christians in that medical school now that are from the north. What has happened to all those people? Is that they've decided that they don't want to go to school anymore? Or is because those people are now in IDPs, or some of them have run away down south? They've left the north. The population of the Christians in the north keeps shrinking. In a country where our population is exploding, the population of the Christians in the north keeps shrinking. And people are going around and saying that there is no Christian genocide. Bloody hell. Every fact is on ground to tell you that there is a Christian genocide. I worked in Southern Kaduna. I'm telling you, I told you people the story of what happened in Southern Kaduna. This is as far back as 2014, 2015. On a daily basis, these people, if I tell you some of the atrocities that these people committed, it cannot be said online. And see, Nigeria is gone. There is no hope for Nigeria. And that brought me back to the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. Whoever is holding him back, they are holding him back because he's one of those that speaks the truth. He said it clearly. He said, if we don't stand up and fight, we are all going to be slaves. See, they will hold him until they are able to completely defeat him. He will not have any power to fight anymore. That's the aim.
Okay.
This is sad, and nothing will change that.
Thank you.
Nigerian government is compromised. We cannot help ourselves. We need the Americans to come in. If they are not able to come in, then we'll have to fight and fight till the end. If it means we die, we die. But
thank you.
Is gone.
Thank you so much. I like your this thing because you talk, the people, some people will not like it because that's the truth of what's happening in the north, but they don't want to hear it. I took part in the first recording of the first ever Fulani gospel musicians. Before that time, they say Fulanis don't have Christians and they don't have Christian musicians. But when we produced, okay, if I call it, I'll review my identity, so I will not call the music this thing. But we recorded it. We recorded it, and we were hunted down. They hunted for us because it was a mind-blowing experience that people now got to know that there are Christians among the Fulanis. They used to say there were no Christians among Fulanis, but now that punctured it. And then, yes,
I knew quite a few.
Yeah,
in my days in the north.
There are many of them, and so there are quite a lot. So I mean, I can even give you some of these things online. Revolution now, you are welcome. It's like finally we may be looking towards that side, though, because the way things are going in Nigeria, maybe that will be the answer at the end of the day.
Good evening, Avi. Good morning. Our side now morning we did very late morning, going to very soon.
Oh, sorry that you're waking you up.
Yeah, you woke me up. I salute you, my brother Omoriye, Mr. Jagun. Next, I salute you.
Evolution, good to see you, sir. Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, it's Jagun that I'm surprised about. I was pleasantly surprised that you came in.
He said that in time. He said that in real time.
Yeah,
this time. So
be about early hours of the morning.
You see, KJ, if you rewind this, most of my appearance, when Una give me my opportunity to talk my own, I don't already tell Una say me on my own. I want how does the knock for English? I want carry Nigeria, give somebody, maybe America or British or even South Africa, may they handle Nigeria for at least 20 years to put things right. When they talk of say Trump talk say, the day why I hear say Trump talk say, if you see the way I jump, I was even thinking say, you know how Trump used to do before he talk, he don't action, then he go come begin telling now why he do him. You understand? Nigeria, the time me I grow for streets, I know they take and shame. My papa no get. The one way in get now, we plenty. So if you dey wait for your papa to give you, my brother, maybe by now I go down become one wicked arm robber because I no go gree. You think I go gree? Make I dey that country. People go dey chop, I go dey look. I won't gree. Now make God advise me to pack out, go find your way. And I know how I manage, leave that country. You understand me? Like the people where my brother Amori don't talk and finish. I was listening to Shore today. You understand? All the thing where they say they go do. The man they tell them say, okay, support Trump coming. He give excuse. He want make we fight for ourselves. Instead of somebody go come rescue. If we go die, make we die. You understand? But when you look at the way Nigeria be, you understand me? Fear, don't they? How you want to take ordinary? Not be the other day that advised us, may we go learn karate and judo. Make we defend ourselves from Boko Haram. We carry gun. We be say, if they just press one, if we kill 100 people at one time, the advice be say, make we go learn karate. You just imagine how they treat us. Honestly, I looked at that military man where we say, even that man cannot walk alone with all the rank where they for his shoulder. Tell him make his throw from here to here, he won't do it. Boys fooling back, carry automatic gun, telling Nigerians to go learn karate for self-defense. Just imagine what we are saying. Omoyewe Sowore, not be say we dey promote them or we dey follow them because the only person we fit, like my brother called that Nigeria, Lion's Den, where we say if ordinary talk where you talk, you can land for prison. Next person where they talk with you, say, if he be your enemy, you go, they follow you, they laugh, they talk, say, as you go to sell you to the government, now be the next thing. This ape where they for VOP, I will never retract that word. You go see, they tell you, say, even Esther asked him, you see, yesterday, they tell us, it be like, say, even you hate this show, right? The man, if he just takes style, they do face. These are the agents of Tinubu. These are the people working for Tinubu. But they claim, say, Sowore, they work for Tinubu. Meanwhile, it's them. Because what you say to people like us, now we agree. Not be waiting, you they trick, say you they talk. Who are you? Just like forefather them. When they go come, they try to fool people. Who are you fooling? Your utterances don't already tell us who you are, where you are, what you think, and what you want to do. You understand me? So when he talk, even that Islamist way they come here sometimes, when he come with full authority, that what they call masker. These are the people where we say their papa steal money. These people then get slaves. So if you come for a platform, you go the things saying as slaves will be. The things slaves where the people where they treat with, they feel they bath themselves as it be so. They feel be saying if you just go bathroom, they will come bath and you not go do anything. You understand me? When you come here, it is saying that those type of people we meet here. You understand? So for me, Trump coming to Nigeria, I'm praying every day make him materialize. Because not be saying Nigerians they weak, but how can you face people with gun? We are not weak, but look at NSACs when those young guys rise up. How did it end? Nobody say they just come massacre about 200, 300 of them. Everybody quiet. You understand me? It be like saying Nigerians weak. Nigerians not weak. I will follow Sowore to the end. If he involves me, sir, because I there nothing left for me again. I don't hustle this life. I don't chop waiting I go free chop. Only say you can't do it alone. If say we see Nigerians very ready, say make we go meet Sowore now, make all of us the waka, we go follow. I don't mind. Because what am I do? As I did talk to una finish now, they look my time. I get early shift. I no sleep well. And I got no, I no get up, I no feel make noise, I no go. How can't I go? I go feel pay my bills if I no go. But I go struggle. If I dey go sometimes, I go say, oh boy, I've been come from better country. I just dey here, I just dey serve. I go do work, so I go tire, I go say, man, age don't they come, I go just do this thing, do this. The other day, one of our guys quench, we all of us dey for this house. We just hear say
second slavery.
I'm telling you, we hear say the guy is long.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, ask me, Mr. Pansat.
If you allow me, can you answer?
Well, I don't know where you are.
Number one.
Know they go. It was my turn. Let me finish before you start to talk your this thing, because I know say you are very controversial.
Give your time. Not let them distract you. When he gets to his time, he can ask questions.
Yeah,
don't let them distract you.
Finish your time. Finish your time. Pass it to get to you. Let him finish. Then you can.
Yeah, you go soon reach your turn because all of now be our problem for that country. I know they wait for our turn.
No, but you can't keep running away from. You can't keep running away from me. It's your turn. You should use it to answer a question. Why not?
Okay, I'll ask the question now.
You think we just come out here
with you want to talk? Ask that question.
All right, thank you very much. Let me say hello to everybody who's on this panel. You know, you do know that we're not here to be playing around. When Showore is declared wanted by the Nigerian government, they're hunting down, trying to capture him again.
Big man like you, if you
your phone is bad.
When they okay. The whole big man like you, if you get clear internet, just they disturb yourself.
It gives Nigeria option to do it.
KJ, I bet move this man, make I talk finish now.
Okay, Bansa, your network is not allowing you to.
They come here begin talk about Showore. We know say no they spoil Nigeria. Now come here they pretend up and down. You look my face. I be like somebody where they joke.
You could answer whatever you heard so far.
Do you think that somebody like me is a joker, or because you don't know our item? Don't disturb me, please. You go reach your turn, please.
Let's
let me end because I don't like to waste time. This man is the wrong Nigerians where they talk about.
Finish. Go ahead.
Very bad people. No respect, nothing. Look at things they go. That was what I was talking about. That idiot where they come here. Sorry, KJ. I don't mean to use languages, but sometimes you'll be forced to use it. That Islamist where they come here. Just the same character with that Pansat.
Okay.
We don't mark them down. When the revolutionary will finally come to power in Nigeria, we go pack all of them. Yes. You don't make me lose my thoughts. We go pack all of them. I've lost my thoughts. Let somebody else.
Don't let that distraction.
I've lost what I was in the middle of a point, but I've left it, so let somebody continue.
Conclude. Go ahead and conclude, sir.
Anyway, what thing I want to conclude be say, I want to go with Nnamdi Kanu, waiting they happen now. You have said a lot about what is happening, but I told you one time when they say sacking lawyers, I don't know whether you are there. I say, why you no go sacking lawyer? They're just eating that guy's money. That's what the Nigerians are. They just they do like say they fight for him. They eat him money when they know say the people where hold him don't already know what to do with him. So it's better let him just hands up. Anything where they want. If they want jail him, make them just jail him. If they want feel him, make them feel and finish. All these lawyers will hang around. Now Nigeria we come from now. We know the bad Nigerians, except you know be good Nigerian. If you're a good Nigerian, you win. When you see a bad Nigerian, you will always know them when you see them. Simple. Make I stop here. That idiot don't take away my mind.
I agree with you because I am totally surprised how very senior lawyers could not see the differences in dates. At least if you give me a letter, the first thing I will do is to look at the dates, especially an important this thing. I look at the dates. So the date for which the judge issued is a directive for the Nigerian Medical Association was on the 26th or 28th, and then the date for which the letter that was submitted to the court was on the 23rd, which means that has been done days before. So they only took that old letter and doctored it. But the DSS, the same government that is supposed to be prosecuting somebody accused of being a criminal, so the same government is libel, but the judge will not hold them. Instead, he said he has crossed that level. They have crossed that level. I don't understand what you mean by that. However, just like Nnamdi Kanu says, when it has to do with Nnamdi Kanu, the laws are changed. No, comrade, wait, let me touch.
Just one second. Apart from the material fact of the case, he said he has accused the judge of being biased. So recuse yourself. Is it by force to impose yourself as a judge? Recuse yourself. I have no confidence in you. That alone, the judge is supposed to recuse himself from the case. Simply simple.
No, the judge feels he's the one who are taking it up. He's the undertaker. Okay, that's my opinion. He's the undertaker in this case. Because remember, he's one of those people he doesn't have a very good record. Even though some of his colleagues come and say he's one of those people who is in weak case.
One of the wicked lawyers.
Yes, one of the watchers. So now you see this is the dangerous narrative that is going on in Nigeria. And you know, sometimes when I bring about this topic, people think I'm bringing because I'm Igbo, but no, I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable. Now they've changed the narrative of what is going on now in Nigeria. They say it is IPOB that have taken all this news and taken it to the world. It's IPOB who campaigned and got Nigeria into this mess. In other words, they are now. So that's why I'm coming to One Africa. One Africa, I know you're not a member of IPOB, but now they say it is you people, the Igbos, who have gone to the US, use your influence to get these things going. And that people have always planned, that you plan to down Nigeria, and this is what it is now. You see, are you going to escape from it? Because when they come to hold you, you say, I'm not a member of IPOB. Will that help you?
Yeah, hello everybody. You know, I'm surprised to have seen the show pop up, but you know, there's a lot to discuss for our beloved people,
Yes.
right? You know, the truth is, you know, I've gone back and forth with Revolution now, my dearly beloved brother, and most of those things are not necessary. We disagree on one person, that's sure, even with Comrade. But you know, I think in most of every other thing we agree. You know, going to the question you asked me, you know, I was attacked so much on this show by Masca and AY, you know, and Forefathers was covering for them. You know, people were in comment section, you know, saying, no, move on, move on. Forefathers say it's not serious. You could see the line of their approach. They just do not like any dissent or any, you know, and that's why I come up to their show every time, because I completely disagree with the way they think about Nigeria. You know, this question you asked is very apt. I think as Igbos, you know, I told people, you know, we know Nigeria stands on 3 legs, right? Whether you like it or not, right? If you take out one leg, it cannot stand. And that's why Nigeria will never, ever be a country, because you can't take out like 1/3 of the country and think it's going to be a functional country. Cannot. I think Igbo people, I'm not a member of IPOB. You know, I did like some of what Nnamdi Kanu was saying initially. I disagreed with the later part of his, you know, what he said. And it doesn't mean that everything, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Now, I think Igbo people need to stand their ground, you know, because as an Igbo man, anything you say, oh, we cannot trust you. And, you know, my brother Jagun, the next thing he jumps on is, you people are traumatized. You people start, you know, you play victimhood. You know, like, oh, Nnamdi Kanu is playing the victim while, you know, Igboho is walking around. So that's victimhood. Like when somebody is saying something that is fact on the ground, you say, can't you see what's the other people that are massacring people in the north? They're walking around and having conversation with our military. Nnamdi Kanu, what did he do so much that's different from what the other people did? He's been in jail for like 5 without trial for how many years? And when an Igbo man says, when it's time for protest, if you're an Igbo man, if you don't join, they will say, oh, why don't you want to join? If you join, they say, why are you joining? They will arrest you. What do you want an Igbo man to do? Now Trump says he wants to come. People from the Middle Belt went to the United States and lobbied Trump. And now he has turned to anti-Igbo rhetoric. I think Igbo people need to stand up for themselves. If people accuse you, say, yes, we are the one that invited Trump. Do you want Nigeria? Anything they accuse you of, stand up and be bold and stand for it. Don't be scared of these people. Like, who's going to be telling me, you know, I told people are crying, oh, look at people who are nationalists. Oh, we're fighting imperialism. Look at all these people that were helped by the British. You know, I don't want to be like Pansat, but I'll tell you something. The Igbo people are the only, or let's say the East, are the only people who have fought imperialism. For 3 years, we gave 3 million lives to fight off and protect our resources. Whether
Barbara,
anybody
sorry,
like
please, I want to excuse myself. Make I go prepare for work. I go to listen for background, man.
Well done.
Okay, I wanted to stay.
Easy revolution.
So the idea that people
Easy,
try to
brother.
gaslight you, like it's as if an Igbo man, you just don't have an opinion. You can't, you cannot dissent from what the government is saying. There are Yoruba people. There's this guy I was watching today. He completely is a Yoruba pastor. He's completely all over he was in channels today, literally inviting Trump. The guy said, I have, like, it's a Yoruba guy saying, we are really essentially inviting Trump. He was given a platform on channels. The guy is very knowledgeable. I even sent Rudolph, I said, invite the guy to this station. But if it's an Igbo man, people like Jagun will jump around. You people you don't like Nigeria. You don't want to fight for Nigeria. People like Maska. Well, because, you know.
It's a shame that you constantly call my... No, you don't. You can't be calling my name if you don't understand my words. Because all the words that you said, I've never said. I want to be quiet, but you're constantly calling my name. It's wrong.
Well, you know, you don't
know my own identity, my own mindset. If I want to take you on, I'll take you on. I'll break you up.
We need to come together and defeat our common enemy. We have a common enemy to fight.
Are you out of your mind? It's because I go against some of your narrative that you feel that you can call my name. Are you out of your mind?
He's not even Professor Yoruba.
We have to call my name like that.
I've got rights to, you know, you're a man. See, you've got opinion on this panel. You see the problem? You've got opinion on the panel, and someone mentions the opinion, you start insulting him. When you call out my own opinion,
I didn't insult you. The thing is,
what's the problem?
The thing is, I don't want to get upset with you. I'll tell you the problem. I don't want to get upset.
Your opinion.
Wait.
No, why should I wait?
This is the problem.
No, you have to wait.
Problem.
No, you wait. I'll finish my talk.
See?
Then speak. You have to wait. No, you wait. Just be patient.
I see.
Thank you.
I see. I see. Like you wait.
Wait.
Okay.
What's the problem?
Okay.
You wait. I talk. You talk.
There's a big problem. I'll tell you when it's. I will tell you. So we don't mess up the show.
It's not prognosing into our internal affairs. If it's Russians, people will believe them. But America are not to be liars. It's not prognosing into our internal affairs. If it's Russians, people will believe them. But America are not to be liars. They said Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction, and there is none. And they have caused confusion in Iraq, in Libya, and everywhere. So when they said Muslims are killing, or there is massacre of Muslims, like Christians in Nigeria, from which side? They didn't specify whether it is the government or whether it is the Muslims that are doing it, or even if Christians are targeted, whatever it is. If Americans can cure and eliminate the terrorists, I will welcome it myself. But I know they cannot.
Okay, when you say they cannot,
let me tell you. Okay. They have fought 20 years in Afghanistan. They could not finish them. Afghanistan is in Syria now. This same thing. And this terrorist you see, it's not easy to just come and drop bombs here and there and think you finish them. They have infiltrated the society, so it's going to cause more damage. More Muslims and more Christians will be killed if America would drop a bomb in Nigeria. I'm telling you this. You can take it for a record. So what we are trying to avoid, we are going to even compound it. Look, myself, I have been trying to see how we can pacify these people. I've been going to see how we can pacify these people and redirect them, because they are human beings. They listen and reason. But if you say you want to use force against force, then you will compound the problem and make the thing dirty. If Nigerian army, which has been very active in many hotspots, cannot deal with this issue for 18 years, for 15 years with Boko Haram, and now the bandits, and to me, the bandits are even more vicious because
you said something about Nigerian army not being able to do something about it for some time now. You have been the person, or rather, news have actually carried it that you more like mediate or serve as an intermediary between them and the government, and that actually has sparked quite reaction among Nigerians. What can you tell us to be, some of the good points or flashpoints of your interaction or discussion with them, especially when he had to get into the bush?
Number
because
one,
the other time we're talking about giving them amnesty and all that.
Yes. You see, just to entice them to leave their weapons. You see, one thing good about it is, you see, you don't treat a disease without diagnosis. If a doctor can diagnose a disease, even if it's cancer, he will know how to manage it. So the good thing about it is, now before we are fighting a phantom, we don't know something is fighting us, coming to take us. We don't know that person. Now, by going to talk with them and sit down with them and to hear their grievances and understand their psychology, so we are able now to contain the problem. Now Kaduna is relatively safe. I can say from you don't hear any more mass killings now in Kaduna, because we understand the psychology and the governor is cooperating. We are talking to them and they are keeping their weapons. They are not fighting. They're still on the weapons. They hold the weapons, but you see, this is a small, gradual process in which slowly we will civilize them. We'll take away their weapons and let them into good citizens. So this is it.
Okay, you just listen to the terrorist negotiator, Saudi deportee, and the spokesperson of terrorism, org.org in Africa, or Nigeria, as the case may be. Now, if you listen to him carefully, you will hear what he said. They should be pampered. They should be given money. They should be encouraged to put up, to become good citizens. These are people who have ransacked people's villages. IDPs are still everywhere around Nigeria. In your own country, are we not even ashamed? Internally displaced people, that's what is IDP simply mean, just in case you have not thought about it. So you are in your father's country. You are called internally displaced people. Some people, then this internally displaced people, when we talk about it, we think it's only in the Middle Belt. No. Some Yorubas are living in Benin Republic because they could no longer stay in their distance. They ran across the border. Some northerners in the Borno side are living in Cameroon. Some are living in Niger. Some are living in fact, I even hear that Chad has put soldiers along the distance because they don't want any of those people running into their country if America decides to come in. So now you listen to this guy talking about criminality and giving the reason why they should be pampered and and giving good, giving a good education, giving salary, and are still allowed to keep their weapon. And yet, those of you who are good citizens of Nigeria, you are taken and locked up, and anything can happen to you, and nobody cares. How do we, just like the doctor spoke earlier, how do we reconcile that? How do you see your foreign friend and say, well, this is how we are trying to rehabilitate the terrorists in our country? We are giving them good food, we are giving them clothes, we are putting them in hotels, and we're even sending some of them abroad because they will likely be presidents and house. So, if you ask me, my opinion is that these people have a more sinister idea than we are thinking about. They have something they are cooking up which we have not been able to lay our hands on. But
let me conclude before I was rudely interrupted. That guy's name is Reverend Laddie Thompson. I think you should find his video.
I have Laddie Thompson's video here. I don't have the full version.
You don't need to play the full version. This guy, he revealed that there was a police commissioner implicated in the burning of a church in Plateau State. And this guy was promoted to Inspector General of Police against recommendation by Supreme Court Justice. Imagine what this man was saying, the guy you played this video right now, Gumi. What was Gumi saying? Imagine if an Igbo leader came out and said what this man said. This is my problem with these people. Imagine if he came and said, you heard one part. He said, if it's Russia, we want Russia. That's what he said.
This is not the first time. He has been like that for years.
If it's Russia, we will welcome Russia. Imagine me saying, me now, if I say, if it's Russia, forefathers will wake up, Moscow will wake up. Everybody will say, it's because, oh, these Igbo people, you are not patriotic. What's going on in this country? What is this nonsense? Are these people crazy? Is this one country?
Are you aware that that guy was put in prison in Saudi Arabia? He was accused of terrorism.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was
once.
And
the last time he was deported, wasn't even allowed to enter. He was deported from the airport.
This time, this is what happened. The second time when he was deported, he went as a government delegate to go and do Hajj, and they fished him out and deported him. But before that time, he was in prison. And then government took government resources to go and do lobby to bring him out. And now he comes to Nigeria, and now he's flexing muscles about and speaking on behalf of the North and speaking on behalf of government.
And his name is among the list they brought from Saudi Arabia, from Dubai. He's one of the lists they brought.
You know the problem.
They are sitting on.
Hold on, comrade.
If Buhari could not act on that list, why can't Tinubu not act on that list? They know what they are doing. They are together. They know what they are doing.
Hold on, comrade. So, you asked the question, why because the narrative has changed. What's his name? The guy from Borno, that APC whistle dog. He went on RT and went Boala. He said it's Igbo people. What is going on? People
I have that.
So we're in a country where Igbo people have nothing to do with this.
Even if it's Igbo people, what is wrong with people complaining?
No.
What is wrong with people complaining about the marginalization?
No, hold on. I don't care about the marginalization anymore. No, hold on. We need to, actually, this may even be liberation. We need to embrace this and turn it to our movement. And say, you people, you think we're not patriotic? Yes, we're not patriotic. I think this should band Igbo people together. In fact, everybody from the East, even, you see, and I have a question for Ugwa. I don't know how, I hope I got it right. I'll tell you something. There's a pastor that comes here, he's from Benue State. He continues to say there's no genocide. What's his name again? That guy that comes here, calls himself a pastor.
I like to be polite. Are you talking about John Abba?
John Abba. He comes here what I'm asking, why do people in the Middle Belt, some have that mentality? Because I like to understand what is it in the psyche of people that make them to deny the murder of their own people, the unaliving of many people in their own area. Because this may be an opportunity for people in the East to band with people in the Middle Belt to liberate themselves from what is coming. Because you talked about Sudan and the Darfur region and what the government and the RSF to do in the Darfur and the Janjaweed. They're still doing it now and nobody's doing anything. UAE is sponsoring them, and did you see anybody in American university protesting about the buying of Christians? Everybody has gone silent. Just let Israel drop one bomb and everybody will jump out again. Can't you see that this is, and everybody's, oh no, you're stupid. Even there was a guest who came here, said, oh, if you're not against what's going on in Gaza, then you're a fool. Your father has, what is this nonsense? Now, that guy hasn't come out since this thing started to condemn what's going on in the Middle Belt.
Bro, KJ, can this thing go round? Because I want to make myself, wait. I want to make myself clear to Odi. So please allow Concerns who hasn't spoken to speak. Let it go around again, because I don't like the way Odi spoke to me at all. He didn't even try to tell the truth. He's going back on other shows where he was hurt in his belly. So he's coming back to call my name. I'll address you, my brother.
Say your beat, I'll say my beat too. Thank you.
I apologize. If KJ will allow me.
You already said your bit now. You already said your bit. I didn't call your name. Is you crybabying around because you're
Let's
calm down.
If KJ will allow me just respond to the issue. Hold on.
I'm ready for all of you.
No, hold on. This topic is very volatile. We have to take it gently, because none of us, whatever we say here, is not going to change it tomorrow. So let's. It's not any.
KJ.
Hold on, guys. None of you here.
KJ, when I spoke, I spoke for like 5 minutes and you heard me. Not even 5 minutes. I didn't speak for long. And I came to a conclusion and I said, let someone else speak. I didn't speak as long as anyone else here. I don't know if you've noticed that. I don't know if you've noticed. But if you are reasonable, then you know I spoke for my bits succinctly and I left the stage. As opposed to taking over the whole speech to point finger at everybody. That's what you do. Pointing finger all day long. No, you are free from blame. You and your people are free from any issue. Laughable individual. Laughable. My guys here.
Our children. What should we do now is what we should be talking about. Not all this politicking, spreading money around, being silly with our future. The same thing I spoke on just a minute. I spoke on this program some years ago when an Al-Qaeda member was appointed a federal minister in Nigeria. And I remember I said it publicly because we are living sacrifices. Why is that happening in a nation? And why are we pretending?
Indeed, Reverend Thompson.
Okay, I'm sorry. One more and then we'll continue. Okay, I can't seem to get a video to go. All right, the video I wanted to play, I would refuse to play, is of a lawyer, a lawyer who was prosecuting the case of a guy who they said didn't speak well of the prophet, and the Sharia court sentenced him to death, and he was brought to Abuja court. Well, what I wanted you to see was the vehemency and the authority by which the lawyer was using to speak. The lawyer said, look, even if this court finds him not guilty, they will still have to find a way to buy him. So this is the country we are living in, where even the law, you see with your gown, your robe, your lawyer robe, you still pass that kind of comment saying that as long as this guy is alive, they will put him out of his misery. So what kind of a nation are we building? And you see, we need to look at this in broadly. It's not something we should come and be quarreling with each other, because the thing is this: when the bully finish bullying the other people in the street, he will look for you when being supporter. If you when being praise singer, he will come after you. But let me have make his consign before we move on.
Good evening, Dr. KJ and all the whole panelists.
Welcome, sir.
Good evening. You see, long time I've been saying this here. Nigeria is gone. Those who are thinking about every time people come here, they say Nigeria have a future. They're looking for the future of Nigeria. In their lifetime, Nigeria be good. Nigeria is already gone long time. I want to encourage my Bini people, Yoruba people, and all the rest. Let them forget about this Nigeria. If not, they will die in this Nigeria. Which Nigeria you have where people are in IDP camp? The RY Consultative Forum yesterday, they went to Arise News. They were saying that America have no right to come to here. Nigeria is not a colony of America, this, that. Then Gumi is saying that we can't defeat Boko Haram. Gumi knows that, the time Americans put their foot on Nigeria, so when they want to rescue those gears, it was the Nigerian army that lead secret to the Boko Haram people. So if in America, and I know that if in America want coming down here, they would not like to they would not like to put foot on the ground in Nigeria. They will only use maybe bomb. When those people are coming with their bikes, I think that's what they can do to them, bomb them. But America coming down, and because America know that it's impossible. If they come, it's gonna be difficult for them. Now, You see, we have a country. Even this Tinubu himself was one of the people who went and reported Nigeria to Trump. That the Christians are being killed when the Jonathan was ruling.
To Obama, other Jonathan.
Yeah, to Obama. No, to Obama. That Christians are being killed. That's a genocide against Christians. But today now they're trying to shift everything to the Igbos. Everything is about the Igbos. Everything is about the Igbos. And I think Nigeria, there's too much illiteracy in Nigeria. Because how can a country, you don't know what is the work of ambassadors? What is the work of embassy? Embassy collect data, collect what is happening in their own country, and they send to their countries. That's what. But when they say people are criticizing Nigeria, people are this, they're not patriotic. Those ambassadors, those embassies, what are they doing there? Whatever you are doing, whatever the country is doing, they're taking it and they're collecting that and then sending it to their own country. That's what they're doing. So when Nigeria is too much illiterate people, all these professors, all these people, they don't know they don't know. They don't know what they're doing. Because if they know what they're doing, they're supposed to know what is the work of the embassies. That's their work. That's their job. To know what is happening in your country. If your education, everything you guys are doing, how the government is doing, even this trial of Nnamdi Kanu, they are collecting everything. And the Tinubu must be careful because this one now that this man Trump is talking about, if he looks at this case of Nnamdi Kanu and he gets this about it, he will also do something. They think that Trump will keep quiet or other countries in the world will keep quiet. It's not going to keep quiet. You see, Nigeria, for me, it's already gone for a long time. And the more we continue to say we patch it, these people are going to overrun the whole people. We can rule ourselves. Even if we have up to 5 states or 5 countries or 6, we can rule ourselves. But coming to say every time, one Nigeria, why don't we say Nigeria? People don't even talk about Nigeria. They talk about one Nigeria. Nobody talking about one this. But again, there's something I want to ask people. If a South African, like a South African, or a Botswanan, or a Zimbabwean, or, see all these people in the bikes, come with guns. The way, coming with guns and into the city. And no military stopping them, no police stopping them, nothing. How would they look at somebody who say, I say Nigerian? In your country, ragtag people, ragtag criminals are coming with guns. Where's intelligence? Where's the army? You people don't have army, you people don't have a military, you people don't have a president. That's why sometimes I look at Nigerian people, I just laugh. I look at honestly. Because you can't do that in any other African country. Like say South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, all those countries can't do it. Even in Ghana, they can't do it. People with ragtag people coming with guns, coming with this in bikes, more than 200, and then no military, no nothing. They no this in no plane to shoot them down. Nothing. And you when you see them. And when you come out, you said you're a proud Nigerian. What makes you to be a proud Nigerian? You don't have military. You don't have a president. Because it's a country that have no president that such a thing can happen. I never see in my life where such things happen. Talking of going to meet the what they call it the military going to negotiate with those people, and this Gumi that always coming to talk. Why is this Tinubu not arrested? Why is the military not arresting him? Because Tinubu, let me tell you, I always say many times here that the Nigerian government is a terrorist government. Because Tinubu and those coalition, before they took over the power through Buhari, it was them, all of them, both to Rufai, Baraj, all of them, they come together to bring these mafias into Nigeria. Then they bring them, now Tinubu don't know what to do. Because if Tinubu, as a Satana, he's supposed to stop these people. But he can't stop them because he's part of them. Yeah. That's why he cannot stop them. So that is why Nigeria is where it is. Tinubu is there with other people, even all these senators, all this, they know this is part of their people. This is their people. So they can't stop them. And that is why anybody who's talking about today, that's why the other lady came the other day. I'm telling you, they can't, now, women in Nigeria, they can't protest. All these killings, the women cannot protest. All these, what they call it, what they call them, what they call them, what they say, they say they're celebrities. What they're celebrating, I don't know. What they're celebrating, their prostitution. That is why they can't do anything. They are giving the money, government is giving the money, senators are giving the money, or to their, that is why they cannot rise up to there and fight for the people of Nigeria. If all the women in Nigeria, even 1%, 10% of Nigerian women in Nigeria came out tomorrow, came out in the streets, said this must stop, the international community will see, they can't shoot them. If shoot them, the international community will be angry. They will be very distant with the government. If all the women, even 10% of Nigerian women, come out and said what is happening in Nigeria, we can't take it anymore. Why is this killings? Why do all these things? They can't protect, but only what you see them is only making hook up and doing nonsense as of now. So it's I don't know really. And again, one thing again I want to say. All these people that are condemned today said why the Americans want to come, why the Americans is that. When Buhari opened the door for the Fulani Janjaweed to come in, why the Satanas and all the people, why they didn't protest, why they didn't condemn it? When Buhari opened the door for this Janjaweed and everything to come in, everybody saw them that time. Why the Nigerian people, why the Satanas didn't complain? Why the other people didn't complain? Say these people are coming to take our resources. The resources that this Boko Haram have taken today, how many trillions have paid to them today in the ransom they're getting? The other day, Boronu, how much will Boronu spend? They said they spent billion in rehabilitating them, and give them money. Man, I'm tired. Nigeria, honestly speaking, I never see a country like that in my life. And anybody who is thinking that Nigeria will be good, or who is thinking that in his lifetime Nigeria will be good, that person is a useless human being.
Okay, thank you so much for your contribution. Jagun, I thought you were going to wait for your turn, but you can go ahead and speak.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. It's because it's always good to hear everybody first before we now have a conversation. Is that fair for me to say?
Yes.
So that when people have something valid to say, they'll say it. Now, again, I greet everybody. I like most of what everybody has said, apart from the finger pointing. I don't appreciate that at all. My consciousness is that is different from everybody else's. I can't be bunched up into a group of people, even though I would like to. People don't tend to agree with what I say, which is fair. Having said that, Nigeria is not a country. I've said that many, many, many times. It's not a country. If I went to Nigeria with simple £1 million, I can create my own army overnight and start marauding anyhow I wish. I've seen it. I've lived there. I feel it. I see the poverty in the land. I know how to do it. I know how to organize. The thing is, because we are in such a treacherous position as a nation, we should not throw the baby out with the bathwater, the dirty bathwater. We should be aware, not just of the pain that we're suffering in our country, in Nigeria, but we should be aware of the way the world is going. We should be very aware. And I feel because of our pain, our individual pain, we would accept anything as a new narrative, whatever it is, even if it's worse than what we have now. The country has basically gotten worse every year since 1999, if not since 1960. It's just gotten worse. So in that getting worse, and we are lazy people in terms of fighting for our rights and understanding who we are as a people and being fair amongst our own human neighbors. As I said, when all this madness started and it began in Boko Haram, I was talking to one of my own cousins, first cousin, a sensible individual, a professional. I was speaking to him about what's going on in the north. He told me that that's another country. which basically says we in the South don't give a damn what's going on elsewhere, as long as it's not in our backyard. Now it's in our backyard. It's there. It's there because we don't stand up. We're not people that stand up. We are not. None of us. Our friend Odi there, he won't even listen to what somebody's actually saying before he starts accusing that you are this, you are that. You can't say anything against the Igbo narrative that may be conscious or unconscious. I know a lot of people speak unconsciously. I'm not one of those people. I'm just a person that feels that we are all victims in that country. We are all victims, but we can't pronounce our victimhood more than the fact that we have a social responsibility to each other. We have and I don't believe we're taking that social responsibility. We're not pushing as much as we want our government to be socially responsible. Our government is the biggest criminal. The governments that are right now running our country and have been running our country for so long are the biggest criminals in the land. So with all that's going on, you know, I don't know if you're aware that Nigeria really, it stands an opportunity to be a superpower. And when I say superpower, I don't just mean by nuclear arms. I mean a superpower economically, in terms of the influence we have globally, in terms of we need a seat on that table. A seat on that table would make us more responsible than we are today. We as a country, we behave like rogues. We behave like rogues. There's nobody really that we can put our heart into to say that, yep, this should be our leader. Peter B, for me, he was very unfortunate to be pushed out of his right to rule that country. That's me. I wanted him to come in because he spoke differently than anybody else who was vying for power. We should have seen what the man can do. It's unfortunate that he lost out, and now there's so much space and so much critique that he has to take on board. It's so unfortunate, but that's the case. Because he really didn't pronounce any opposition as he should have. Now he's going to join this, whatever you call it, to come and do what? Share power with non-entities. Is that what you want? It's a great shame that we don't have any pronouncement to say that this is an individual who can run the country. Right now, I don't know who can really run that country. However, having said that, I don't know what America is going to do in Nigeria. We are just hoping against hope. That's what we're doing. We're hoping that somebody will come from the sky and sort our mess out, the mess that we created. I don't think that's practical. And I think that goes more into sheepishness. It goes more backwards as a nation, as a people. If Trump really does sort out Nigeria, you know that we can't carry on from where he left off because we haven't learned how to do it. We haven't imbibed it into our spirit that this is how to run our lives. So America, who's a marauding nation within itself, if you haven't seen, if you somehow are blinded by what's going on around the world, Iraq or Afghanistan or Syria or Gaza or Venezuela, you can just go on and on. You see the Vietnamese defeated America. They defeated them. Ragtag army. But they had enough pride within them to say, no, this is not happening on our terrain. This is not happening on our watch. Nigeria hasn't learned to do that. Nigeria's waiting for somebody. Waiting. For me, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. But in terms of intelligence, in terms of the dignity of your own people, to call America in for any reason at all into our country, I think it's a failing of our people. And I don't know what it would mean in the near future. I feel Dangote refinery, the hold of the Chinese in the country as far as lithium and all the other minerals we have, rare earth minerals that are being used today. This is the target for a country like America. This is the target. We know that Trump doesn't necessarily give a damn about Christianity. He would utter it, he would speak about it, but he doesn't care about it. Let's be honest with ourselves, man. He doesn't know anything about Nigeria. He doesn't know anything about the terrain. Americans are I don't want to use this word to cover everybody, but there's a craziness about America, and with the fact that America and the West as a whole is losing its hold on the global affairs, that China, especially China, and even Russia, are pushing forward in their power base across the world. This is the only thing that America has in there. They do not have the mind of Nigeria with them. They don't. So I really want to speak. For those of you, I don't know, I put it to you. For those of you who believe that America should come and rescue us, I would really like to know what you believe that America is going to do practically to achieve that end, especially given the narrative I've spoken about so many other countries in the world that fought against them. What is America practically going to do with the mess of a nation that we have? Tell me. I want to know. I really do. Because we can't just be... It's when I listen to everybody, they're inviting America, or they wish America would come and save us. I understand the desperation of that talk, because Nigeria is a desperate place. Again, let me try to... Wretched. That's what somebody in the comment section mentioned last time, that we are a wretched nation. I mean, practically, I would like to be... I like it to be spelled out to me. Not what you believe America will do to organize us in our Nigeria that will be long lasting.
Okay,
that's me.
I want to ask you a question. I'm still with you, Jagun. Have you imagined how much land will be used to bury 50,000 bodies? Have you ever imagined that? Now, if you have,
I don't even have to imagine. I've seen it. We've all seen it.
Okay,
we've seen it. Open graves where they just throw bodies in.
No. Now, if they are going to be buried in the proper way, it will take 65 football fields. It's not even football fields to be able to put those bodies in the ground. Now, 50,000 people is much more than certain European countries. So we are talking about these are numbers that were recorded, not the ones that they didn't find their bodies. Now, this is the situation we find ourselves as Nigerians. It is between the devil or the deep blue sea. So what should a responsible individual... You see, what my concern, Jagun, is this. We as Nigerians are not saying, true, somebody is going to show us how to blow our nose. We are concerned about, why are you worried? It not be our nose. That's where my problem is. The mere fact that the media campaign and the government emphasis is on the fact that it is not only Christians. And now we have gone from that point to say, do you know that Nigeria is a sovereign state? You just woke up yesterday to know that? Really? I thought you knew that you're a sovereign state all this while. That a red tack army, which you guys brought in through the north, have been ravaging the country, and you didn't do anything. Some of you even went ahead to say, these are Nigerians. You say Fulanis anywhere in the world are Nigerians. You cannot stop them from coming through the border. That is on tape. I talk with facts. This is the governor of Bauchi State who made this statement. Fulanis are all related. So whenever they come, they can't stop them. And they cannot even contain them from going around. Remember, one of the reasons that they have always hated Nnamdi Kanu is because he told them what they were keeping as a secret. He told them. Now the house has all of a sudden woken up, because this history that he was telling wasn't known by the Hausas. Because many of them woke up to think, oh, we're Hausa Fulani, until the Fulani started saying, we're not Fulani, we're not Hausas, we are Fulanis. You guys are Hausas, we're not Hausas. So what I'm trying to say in essence is this, and which I'm coming back to you with, is which is the best way to solve this problem? Since you guys don't want America to help, where do we go from here? Do we just watch until...
No, but it seems like, okay, I understand you, sir. But it seems that you haven't taken on board what I just said. What I've just said is that because we are a desperate nation, we are behaving desperately. Desperate decisions are normally not correct. You have to make a decision based on your cerebral artifacts that are clear and clean and objective. But we are full of emotion. That's the kind of...
Jagun, since I was growing up in... Hold on. Since I was growing up in Nigeria till today, we have always been a fire brigade nation. We don't solve any problem. Anybody can... please, help me. Which problem have we solved? We don't solve any problem.
No, but brother, this is how it is.
Which problem have we...
I'm going to be very quick, and I'll narrate quick history. Nigeria started in 1960. As much as it was founded on a slightly rocky position, it was still founded. And as we founded it, we had good leaders. We had the leaders that we needed to go through the first 10 years of our independence. Yes, I believe so, sir. I believe that we had good enough leaders. We had good enough leaders. It's just that we didn't pick the right one to run the country as the first president or prime minister of the country. That's all. That's all that really destabilized us. And from our destabilization, we just got worse and worse and worse. When I say that we had good leaders, the leaders that we had then are better than any of the leaders that we have now. Much far better. Now, instead of us in the South, particularly, who were educated and were more worldly wise than the North, we did not come together to take responsibility of the whole country. That's what should have happened, but it didn't happen. What took place is that people decided that we are going to lord ourselves over this country. That's what took place. So within that, nobody says that. The first dispensation largely was run by the Igbos, even before the Oyinbos left. Even before the Oyinbos left, it was run by them. It was run by the Igbos, largely. Before 3, 4, 5, 6 years, the whole thing don't bafuka. The whole thing will mess up. You know, the Civil War was totally unnecessary, but it took place. And nobody wants to take any responsibility for the calamity that we caused ourselves. After that calamity, because we are an unconscious nation, we just left the East to its own rot. The whole nation. We didn't go back there and repair it. There was up to today, there is not a memorial that marks that tragic occurrence in that. Not up to today, which tells you that nobody gives a damn in that country. Nobody gives a damn about humanity and human life. Not because it's Igbo life, because if it was the Yorubas who were doing what the Igbos did, the same thing would have happened. There would have been no memorial.
Be quick. Can I say something, KJ? You know, because
my brother, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Let's please.
When you were mentioning, I didn't mention that.
So other people can talk.
Please
be quiet. Don't let me be rude to you, because I will. I'm not considering you. Don't let me be rude to you.
Please.
See, I'm speaking to the whole audience, and I'm hoping that we're having one conversation here, as opposed to having disparate conversations.
Having the same conversation, please just go ahead.
I want to end by saying that as desperate as we are in that country, I'm aware of the desperate position that we're on. My family is there. My family is in Nigeria, like everybody else's family. You understand? We all risk death on a daily basis in that country. So, given the fact that things can surely be worse, you know how bad it is, we think that it can't get worse. Things can surely be worse. Are we going to invite worse? That's me.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Can I
Yes.
just do a follow-up, KJ, please? Please.
No,
I just want to give some facts. No facts, just facts.
That way. I don't want us to go back and forth.
No, it's not back and forth. I'm not addressing what he said. Just let me just state some facts, because there's this narrative that Russia may save us. Look, I do agree that the global South need more diversification. I'm a believer in that. But there's a false narrative about Russia. Russia has nuclear bombs. That's all they have. Russia is in a war with Ukraine, where they're needing help from North Korea and Iran to be able to just win that war. And they're not even making any progress. Do you know the GDP of Russia? 1.8 trillion. That's the GDP of Russia. Because when people keep talking about Russia as a country that, oh no, these pivots we're having to Russia. Do you know the GDP of California? 2.2 trillion. California has a bigger GDP than Russia. The United States has 50. Do you know the GDP of New York City? New York City has has a bigger GDP than Russia. So what is this thing about? How do you want a poor country to come and help you? Russia, just the only thing they were able to do was to get nuclear bomb from the Soviet era, and that's the deterrence they have. But it's not.
No,
like
I don't
Russia
know who mentioned Russia. Nobody mentioned Russia. No one.
No, you did. You said Russia and China. But let me finish.
Russia and China what? I didn't say they should come in. I didn't say they should come in politically.
You didn't say that once. Pivot. Okay. No, they are to America. Hold on. Let me finish. You said
no. You're not a good person. You don't listen well.
No. I wrote down what you said. You can rewind. Hold on now. Let me.
2.5.
Huh?
This our man, Negs. Now you for speaker. This our man. He really doesn't know.
I don't know. He's trying to shut me down.
No, it's not that. Negs wanted to go. Negs actually spoke before you.
But you're not the.
You've been wandering up and down. You've been wandering up and down.
Doing nonsense. The problem, you see how he got upset when I wanted to talk.
I'm saying Negs before you.
The problem is this guy is uncontrollable.
Are you controllable? You're a joke and a half.
Don't let us go out of our way to begin to do this. Control ourselves.
What a joke.
And the one we are calling Kanu.
You can't land when you're talking nonsense.
And the one we are calling Kanu, do you know he has 2 passports? One Nigerian, one British, and he came to this country without using any passport. Do you know he brought an equipment into this country, a sophisticated equipment, and was broadcasting for Radio Biafra? Which kind of government do you want to have?
What we wrote an editorial against in Premium Times.
What?
Premium Times wrote editorial against his radio station and called on the federal government to stop that.
So he should be given bail to go away. There's a treasonable felony against him, and I hope the court will listen to the case.
So you can see that broadcast and the vehement nature for which the president of Nigeria was speaking about a citizen, the one that you call Kanu, and that's the word he used. The one that you call Kanu, that he came into this country with 2 passports, but his people are coming in without even passport. He owns 2 passports and he didn't come in with anyone. So how then do you know he owns 2 passports, but he didn't come in with anyone? These are the lies that the federal government were telling about all this. Once you are an evil person, you are an evil person. Now your own people come through the border. They don't come with even a single passport. They don't even know whether they are here or there. Okay, and that is the reason why this man will continue to be in prison, because he imported a radio equipment That's the reason why he should be charged for treason. But the federal government establishes radio stations for Fulanis, for which they broadcast in Fulani language. They broadcast in Fufude. We don't even know what they're talking, what they're saying. It is still on. More than 3-4 different parts of Nigeria have Fufude radio, for which the federal government established for the Fulanis. What is this?
I really need to land on my point, you know.
Bro, it's supposed to be my turn. It's supposed to be my turn, please.
Let me just land, then you continue. Don't, comrade, please. So, you know, this idea, you know, people, it has to be said, China does not intervene in the political issues of any country. China is not coming to save anybody. China didn't come to save Iran. You know, China didn't come to save, you know, Gaza. China stays away. They're just there for the economic benefits. If you don't know, wake up. And I'm going to say something. You know, when people come here, they say, oh, no, we are one country. Oh, no, they say something to placate people. You see the tone that this guy went. He said, oh, that it was run aground by the Igbos. How did the prime minister was was from the north?
Is that what I said? KJ, is that what I said? Is that what I said, KJ?
The Igbos were in charge. He didn't say they were run aground.
The guy is just talking. He's just not opening his mouth.
He said that
you shouldn't allow this, KJ. You shouldn't. One what he's talking about is bearing. You see, KJ, what I positioned was a question for everybody.
No, you're disingenuous and you're dishonest. He said they didn't choose the right leader because they didn't choose Awolowo. I'm going to call all of you out for what you are, because that's what you are. And all you do is try to accuse Igbos of saying something.
Oh, you go and sit down, you damn idiot.
Calm down.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
You should not call me an idiot.
This is why I said, KJ.
You got to take him out of...
I'm saying it.
Okay, I hope we've all calmed down now. Listen, none of you here.
Me, I'm calm.
Please, let us take it easy. None of us caused the problem in Nigeria. None. Brother, all of us have tried to contribute. If I tell you how far I've done my own bit, I'll believe it. But I've just decided that, look, it's lost, because those who even believe...
KJ, can you do me a favor? And just look at your what I sent you, my question that I asked that everybody ignored. I think this guy was going to try and deal with it next, but our friend came and messed up the whole thing by not really understanding what's being said. He just wants to be pointing the finger up and down. Nonsense. Anyway, if you please look at that question, it's pertinent enough to be answered. It really does go along with the question that we're asking. What we are facing now is an existential new threat inside our nation. That's what we're facing, all of us. As I keep saying, all of us are people suffering. Or there are those who say, I'm suffering more than you. I'm playing this suffering Olympics. Me, I don't really care too much for that because it's bullshit. I don't believe in it. You can believe in it if you want, but I don't. It's my opinion, and I'll keep it. What I want is this question answered.
Next to speak. Not next to speak. Next, please. Come here.
It's supposed to be my turn.
No, hold on.
Yes, sir. It's your turn.
No, after Jagun, me. After me, OD before.
Odi just asked a question and then went out. It was supposed to be next. Next, go ahead.
No, next is next now. He's the one next.
He's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be next.
Actually, KJ. Normally, it
no, Conrad. Conrad, no.
He went out and came back, so that's the only.
Next was actually supposed to be before me.
I was doing something. Put me. I was backstage.
It's all right. I know you want to talk more about Showore. Don't be offended. Go ahead.
No. Don't. No, this is the erroneous impression people have about me. I'm not Showore's boy. So everything about me is not Showore.
I'm just.
I had a problem recently. I called into a show. It has nothing to do with Obi. Has nothing to do with Showore. Just like the way our mainstream media do, what they used to cause wahala between Showore and Obi. You know what they did? You know what she did? She was trying to, hit me. He was bringing Obi and Showore into the matter. The conversation had nothing whatsoever to do with Showore. They want to make a sensitive headline. They want to use me as a clickbait. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like it. See, I don't see my Obi. Sorry, bro. In the last dispensation, I knew Showore wasn't going to win. Showore message was not resonating with Nigerians. For some reasons, best known to them. My next message was Obi. I was going from one platform to the other saying, if you put Obi at the middle, with Atiku on one side and Tinubu on the other side, in fact, I was blasphemous. That it was tantamount to like putting Jesus Christ in the middle of two armed robbers. People that heard me I said it loud and clear. So that was my position. I'm not against Obi. I've never spoken evil or ill against Obi, and I would never do that. Because I talk of Showore, we've come a long way. I've known one or two things about Showore. I can, vouch for him for certain things. But some people tell you he has never had any office. He should go to councillorship. He should go for chairmanship of his local government. And he will tell you, if he's the councillor, who would be at the helm of affairs? Who will be in Abuja? Your Tinubu, your Buhari, that you claim to have, garnered a lot of experience in the negative ways. So that is that about that. Everything about me is not Showore. Before once I come into a show like this, people feel I'm coming to talk about Showore. I wasn't going to start with Showore, except that the moderator asked me a question.
Now you have talked. No, go ahead and make a contribution so that we can.
Yeah, he asked me a question. He asked me a question like, "Oh, Showore, there are some people making an attempt on his life." That was why I started with Showore. Other than that, I would have started with the case of Nnamdi Kanu. So that being said, now we can understand why you cannot understand the enormity of a frustration Kanu and his lawyers have gone through. For them to resort to street protests, there was something Showore said. They were asking him, why are you protesting when the matter is in court? He said he sucks among them. No matter how small people may look at Showore, no matter how rude, you might not like his style, he has his sources everywhere. So that was even the connection he had with Ribadu. When Ribadu was the chairman of EFCC, they were helping each other. He was getting a lot of information from Showore. Showore too was getting a lot of information from Ribadu. So what am I trying to say by what do I mean by this? Before they came to the streets, I'm telling you the reason behind the protest. He already had the source that they have made up their mind to convict Kanu so that they will not be begging for him as a convict. Before you now talk of maybe pardon. That was what Showore never wanted to happen and his lawyer in conjunction with his defense counsel. So now with the event that has with the development of things from that time till now, we don't need the prophet to tell us that they have made up their mind either to continue to hold him there or to convince him So after 10 years, to now come up with, okay, people will not be begging, you not be, an ex-convict. That is what they have been struggling to avoid. It's very obvious. Now, that he has decided to say he has no case to answer, he doesn't want that judge in his case, they're giving him less than 24 hours. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I think, they are very easy to predict. Kanu has predicted them already, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is ahead of them. So everything that Kanu tell us, some years ago, you might not understand, you might not like everything he said, you might not be comfortable with his utterances, his style, but there is no doubt that he was fighting a just cause, a genuine cause at that. So his approach, like every other human being, is not perfect. He might have one or two, shortcomings, but it doesn't in any way diminish or remove anything from the cause he's fighting. It's a just one. The cause is, the cause he's fighting is long overdue. We cannot continue to marginalize the people after the war. You said there was no vanquish, there was no victor, no vanquish. You came up with the principle of reconciliation, rehabilitation, and reconstruction. None of that one has been obeyed as far as we are concerned. So on that ground, he's fighting a just cause. And you cannot continue to hold him there indefinitely. So tomorrow is around the corner. Tomorrow is already here, in some areas. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's see how they're going to, go ahead and convict an innocent person. This is even a very good time for this. They have so much in their plate now. They are biting more than they can chew, and they are chewing more than they can swallow. It might hurt them on the throat. I like the way things are going. God is not mock. God is a very powerful God. He sees beyond what we can see. He is omnipotent and omniscient. So this is the right time to deal with a lot of issues like this. If you want to protest this, I think this is the right time to protest. For those that are saying that America should not come, the utterances alone, the tweets alone, people that don't listen to us, if you protest, they roll out their, guns to waste people. You could imagine, we cannot be more Catholic than the Pope. Nobody here can be more Catholic than those of us that started fighting when we were less than, when we were about 15, 16 years old. We thought we could make a better Nigeria. We are getting old. We've not been able to achieve anything. They don't listen to you. They don't care about you. So if there's anybody that is not patriotic, it's the government that has broken their social contract with the people of Nigeria. It's the government that doesn't listen to his people. It is the government that will open fire on innocent citizens that are holding their flag for peaceful protest. So nobody should accuse anybody or any Nigerian of not being patriotic. If you are citing this government and you are citing this government accusing Nigeria for not being patriotic, I would doubt if you are as guilty as the government will blame. So nobody should come here and blame anybody. With ordinary tweet, Trump has not even come. So he has started yielding results already. Are you aware that Tinubu has already declared a state of emergency in Nigeria on security? As if he has been sleeping. He has woken up from his slumber. If he takes a bully like Donald Trump to come and wake them up, so be it. What are we debating here? We had the opportunity to redress these issues. Nigerians were busy trying to define or redefine or give genocide a coloration. Either ethnic, whether religious, coloration, instead of dealing with the issue at stake. This is the problem we have. I don't like when we fight among ourselves. Sometimes we fight for people that don't even care about our existence. We fight our people that don't even whether they don't care about us. They are not fighting, we fight ourselves. And they are happy each time we come together to fight ourselves. This is the greatest weapon they have against us. Can we try as much as possible? We know we have our differences. We have our differences. Can we begin to build bridges across these differences so that so that we can fight together as a people? We can form a formidable force. Each time we come together, they are scared of us. They are scared of the people. Power still belongs to the people. Nobody can take that power from the people. So when we fight among ourselves on tribal ground, when we are all victims. Somebody said that Nigeria is sitting on a tripod. It's actually more than a tripod. And this is even part of the problem. Nigeria is more than Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. One of the bad with those of us that are not even counted into, we are not even in the picture. So we are even more marginalized in certain ways. But because our voices are not heard, people feel we are not in existence. So we are all victims of a system that is not working. We are all victims of a little cabal that to 1% that is flooding it over us. So each time we come on a platform to fight against ourselves, they are laughing at us. And this is what they want. They will do everything humanly possible to sponsor the vision of organ.
Comrade, calm down. Comrade, let me ask you a question. You know, I'm not sure if you heard the question I put when I spoke. I said, and I want answers. I want answers. I want us to have one real conversation instead of conversing all about the place and talking nonsense. What I need to understand from those who believe that America should come, what do you suppose America's achievement would be in terms of Nigeria as a nation? When America somehow leaves, if they leave, when they leave, what do you expect to be left behind? That's what I want to understand.
Okay, let me answer the question.
You're stuck.
America at the end of the day may not even come. They're not coming to put their foot on the ground. They have done it in certain areas. It didn't work.
I don't think they're gonna come.
I'm coming. They're not coming. You asked me a question. Let me land. I just started by telling you they have not even come, but the threat has started yielding results. I just told you one of the results.
I agree. My brother. I agree that.
Can you just let me learn? Be patient.
Wait. Let me. I'm going to put you in line. I'm going to put you in line so you don't repeat yourself. I'm agreeing that this time here, what Trump has said has alarmed everybody to thinking. I agree that this is the greatest time for us to revolt or to protest. It's the greatest time as an advantage that we have. I believe that we need to organize a difference. But I want the question answered. What do you think if America comes? What in your mind is their organizational pattern across the geography of Africa? How are they going to capture?
The same question you asked me already. I thought you were going to say something different.
I'm repeating it because you're not answering it. You need to answer the question. Don't repeat yourself.
The way you want it. This is the problem. You want me to say it the way you want it?
Comrade, hold on.
What I want is to hear something new.
I don't want to say something that will sweet you. I want to answer it my own way. I'm not a baby. I heard you. I heard your question. Give me time to answer you.
But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You do as you please. You don't have to.
Yeah. Let me answer the question.
I've only spoken for 5 minutes since this show started.
Let me just answer him. Let me answer him and I will rest.
I wanted to.
KJ, you better do a job of.
He put a question across to me. Can I just have a minute to answer you?
I didn't put it to you. I put it to everybody. But you wasn't here to hear it the first time.
Let me give you my own answer.
Let my man speak. Let him speak for once. Because you speak
because you don't like the way
let him speak.
The question, you don't like the answer I'm giving to you because
to do with my life.
Even whether they come or not,
nothing to do with all the things that you want.
The alone is already giving us results.
Okay, guys, calm down. Two of you guys, calm down, please. Calm down.
I'm calm.
Okay, can you go ahead, please? Can you go ahead?
Yes.
All right.
Not hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Thank you, guys. I know you've asked a question, Dragon, and One Africa has also asked me a question about the middle belt vis-a-vis their future in Nigeria. I'm going to combine both and answer it this way. The way I see is that I think as a country we've failed, and the unfortunate bit is that history has not been taught well. I was in a conversation on a podcast with about 300 young Nigerian youths this evening. Yesterday, where most of them were mostly from the north and some part of the east. We're having a chat on what's happening in Nigeria currently. And from that interaction, you discover that most of them don't even know what the Nigerian laws look like. And I'm going to say it this way. You come to recognize that some of the issues we have in Nigeria, most of the social issues, stems from the fact that it's the way the country was constructed and I use that word carefully, it was a constructed country in the fact that right from time immemorial, we were not compatible. The different parts of the countries were not. And to make it even worse, the way the British did it was that in the north, they combined everybody from the Niger border down to Benue, Kogi, Kwara as northern Nigeria. There was no consideration to their culture, to the way of life, and how they lived their life. How can a person from Kwara State or from Kogi State, who is Yoruba by tribe, be a northerner when he's got Yoruba people in Southwest? It just didn't make any sense. How can an Igbo person in Benue or Kogi State be a northerner when he's got people just 5 minutes walk down the road that are Igbos, that are part of the Southwest region? So there was a lot of contradiction. Even at the point of that amalgamation, those people in the middle belt protested about being part of the northern region. They protested to the British. When I read the Nigerian history, they weren't happy that they were lumped up to be part of the northern region. So the way the country was brought together was a misnomer to start with. There were people of different cultures, different ways of life that were just clumped up together and were forced to be a country. And no conversation was had about how we intend to live. Do we intend to be a secular society, or do we intend to be a religious one? It will shock some people to know that the issues with regards to Sharia and laws against apostasy, which is part at the core of some of the issues we've had, especially in recent time, is the fact that there is a Nigerian law on apostasy. People do that. How do you intend to enforce that kind of law for an Igbo person or a Yoruba person that is a traditional worshipper? It just didn't make any sense the way Nigeria was constructed. And all the fruits are coming to bear. It was constructed in a way that the Hausa man felt that the country, unfortunately, I'm going to use this word, belonged to him without consideration for others. In his mind, the fact that he is sharing power with the South shouldn't even be in the first place. That is a fact. Now, if we all accept that this country is a combination of people that were not compatible from the outset, then it means that this country cannot move forward if we don't tell ourselves the truth. Unfortunately, we've not told ourselves the truth until this point. And I feel that we've crossed the Rubicon. There's no going back. That's the way I see it, unfortunately. There's no going back. Now, why am I saying this? I said it initially. The government is infiltrated by people that believe that they are jihadists. People don't want to hear this. People don't want, but these are the facts. They feel it is their mission in life to Islamize Nigeria. That is a fact. You don't want to hear it, that's fine, but that's the truth. And that's why all these deliberate things have been happening. Now, going forward, what will Trump achieve if he invades Nigeria? I think, personally, Trump has forced a conversation, and this is our opportunity to have that conversation about, are we really, really a nation? And do we intend to continue this way? In my opinion, we are not. And if this brings about the complete disintegration of Nigeria, I'm here for it. That's my opinion. Now, in terms of the question about, because no matter how you try to do it, it's not going to work. Some people want to live in a Sharia country. Others don't want to. It can't work. It's never going to work. Oh, Sharia is for Muslims only. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It can't work. Nigeria is extremely, extremely, extremely complex. We are divided across religious and ethnic lines. So all this conversation we're trying to have, that hear me, I'm communicating with you, is just a waste of time. as long as certain things are still on the table and people have refused to take them off the table and discard it, then it's not going to work.
Thank you.
The other issue about whether the middle belt should think about their future and why some people in the middle belt think the way they are, I think goes back to the issue of the minority question in Nigeria. The minorities don't trust anybody. And unfortunately, they are the end of all this nonsense that is happening in our country. They feel that the only way they can survive is for Nigeria to remain one. But unfortunately, it's not going to be. Because just like One Africa said, Nigeria has got 3 legs. And those 3 legs, I tend to see it in a way that it's got 3 parts, 3 forces, and they are pulling it in different direction. And the fact that they're pulling it in different direction means that it can't survive. Lastly, before I cede my table, I want to answer some questions that Jagun raised in terms of geopolitics and resources and what is happening across the world. Yes, the world is becoming more racial. People are falling into racial lines. But unfortunately, some people in our country and in Africa can't see it. You've got people that are blacks but claim to be Arabs killing their fellow blacks. If you check the genetic difference, it's likely there's nothing there. It's absolutely rubbish. Slave mentality. Then you've got people in the north that feel like people in Palestine are more of a kin to them than their fellow people in the Middle Belt or in other parts of the country. And they are happy to kill or do things on their behalf. So how do you intend to pass that conversation to people and tell them that the world is becoming more racial or the world is changing? That's one part. Second part of your question is, in terms of the United States, what do they intend to gain? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. What is it in for? What does the United States tend to gain in invading Nigeria? Most people have not sat down and asked themselves this question. The United States produces 13 million barrels of crude oil every day. Nigeria produces 1.6 million barrels of crude oil. Dangote has to import crude oil from United States to Nigeria to meet up his production. The other issue is people say, oh, our resources in terms of gold and lithium. I'm asking Jagun, go to Nigeria's revenue and see, in the last 5 years, how much have we made from gold that is in Zamfara? 0. How much have we made from all the natural resources we have? The only thing that we are making money, some bit of money from, is limestone amongst all our natural resources that we used to make cement. Other than that, we are making 0. Crude oil is our main source of income. So the gold is not adding to our revenue.
Thank you.
People are cutting it away. What are we going to lose if the Americans come in?
Nothing. Thank you, Doc. Thank you. You have actually laid out, and anybody who felt, if you came to this program and are looking for a takeaway, I think you have just given a takeaway for everybody listening. Now, the other question I will finally ask you before I go to One Africa. So what would be your advice to the federal government concerning Nnamdi Kanu and the approach they're hither to trying to take? Is it right that they're trying to jail him without telling him what the crime is or showing him where the crime is written? Is that how it's done? You're a doc, you're not a lawyer, but what will you say as an analyst for what you're seeing?
Subconsciously, I don't know why I kept forgetting about the Nnamdi Kanu issue. I'm so embroiled in these Nigerian security issues. I think that the question still comes down to how we are as a country. It's a complete contradiction. What moral authority has the Nigerian government got to hold Nnamdi Kanu ransom? when you've got criminals walking about with sophisticated weapons, it just doesn't make sense. Anybody that, if you just dropped from the moon and somebody tells you something about Nigeria, you are going to run mad. Nigeria is a crazy country. Absolute working contradiction. People say I'm not in support of what Nnamdi Kanu did or the way he said things, but he was saying it the way it was. It's just that most people refuse to listen.
Yeah.
The foolish leaders in the Southeast wouldn't listen. The stupid leaders in Southwest wouldn't listen. He told them this day is coming. This day has come, and the cancer has eaten deep. It has metastasized. It's only God that will save us. That reminds me about the question you've asked. I think the government should just release him, but there was something that Jagun said in terms of what will America achieve. I mean, what is the end game? What do we see the future of Nigeria when America leaves? I think there was a question about that. I'm going to be very honest. Whether American comes in or not, the future of Nigeria is very dire. It doesn't make any difference. If American comes in, it's going to still be a shit show. If they don't come in, it's already a shit show. The only way from this point we are is downhill. I don't want to sound like a prophet of doom. We have to come together and tell ourselves, each other, the truth and say, how do we want to resolve this issue? And for me, the only solution is to break up the country. Try some sort of maybe regional government or something. If everybody is scared about living, have some kind of agreement and then see how it works. And then gradually you can begin to say, okay, oh, I think I'm self-sufficient. I don't think I need this union anymore. And I want to be on my own. I think that is what will finally happen. I mean, that's what should happen in the long run. Parts of the middle belt that feel they want to join the Southwest, the Southeast should join. The ones that feel they want to join the Southwest should join. The ones that feel they want to make a different autonomous region for themselves.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I take that to be your conclusion for tonight. One Africa. Yes, you also give me a conclusion for tonight.
Well, thank you very much. Going back to your topic on Nnamdi Kanu, this really comes to the Igbo question, whether we like it or not. When he was brought back from Kenya, we had an Attorney General, Malami. He addressed the nation, not in English. He addressed the nation in Hausa. He spoke to one set of people. So that, that's really, I don't think I really need to say any other thing about this. The funny thing is that we have someone who's not from the north as the leader. He's trying to milk the Igbo question again. Like, I would understand that, Buhari, Nnamdi Kanu was Buhari's enemy, right? He was educating the Middle Belt and the Northern Christians and all that. But what's the problem? What does Tinubu have with Nnamdi Kanu? At least if there's any conscience or any attempt at equity, immediately they left Igboho off the hook. Nnamdi Kanu should just be left off the hook. But no, the whole idea that you can see, if you listen to Nigerian politics, you see that they're trying to see if they can keep him there to use him in 2027, which is shameful. Nobody can say, I'm not in the camp of saying that, Nnamdi Kanu didn't do anything or he didn't. I'm not in that camp. But, if you look at Nigeria, what has he done that is worse than what any other person has done? Where is he in DSS custody? He's not even in prison. You know what this guy has been asking for? Transfer me to Kuje prison. Is it not what he's been asking for? I don't want to be in DSS custody. Probably they're putting him in solitary confinement and all that. At least where he can interact with folks. He's not even asking for just put me in Kuje prison. That part of these court battles have been just about that. Or let me go get some treatment in National Hospital. They just what they have done is to deprive the guy of anything that makes him a human being. It's actually to humiliate a people. You know, of course, you know, going to Kenya was a bad mistake. I'm sure he has realized that. But, you know, leave the guy alone. But, you know, there are so many, you get more problems, you know, in Nigeria to go and arrest people. Leave the guy alone. And I want to talk about this, you know, China. And people say, oh, people to China do this and all that. You know, look, China is in Nigeria. Do you know what they're doing in Nigeria? You know, what is Nigeria? What's China? You know, people think, oh, United States, we don't want you. You know, personally, I want to be, I'll prefer if there are two worlds, just like you had the East and the West, the Soviet bloc, I prefer to be on the US side. There's nobody is good in this world, right? I'll tell you, when Germany was partitioned, the German soldiers were all running to go and surrender to the Allied forces, to the Americans. They were all running away from the Russians. That's why America was able to go to the moon. Everybody can fill in the blank space. But China has been in Nigeria doing what? They're all in Zamfara. You see, every day they are being arrested. Even China is being arrested for doing 419 in Nigeria. Is it not true? Don't you see AFCC packing them? How many Americans have you seen being arrested in Zamfara? So this is maybe a little taste of what is to come. By the time you get the pivot, oh no, we don't want America. I want America. I want to be an ally to America. I don't want to be an ally to China. It's not going to give, you know, many countries in Africa are allied to China. What has he gotten them? They're still poor, you know, and, you know, one thing I like to talk about again is this idea of Nigerians are stupid. Let's get together and have a conversation. You know, people sounding like as if they are professors, you know, like as if nobody has thought of anything before in their life. I want to have a conversation now. Like tomorrow, we want to have a conversation now. People had a conversation in 2020 in this country. And they were slaughtered, those kids. Those kids, you know, it's, oh no, look at Kenya, look at Kenya. What's Kenya? NSAS, those people they learn work. Look at what those kids, they took over the whole country. It took people in this government that went with live bullets. When they shot the kids, they were picking the shells of the bullets. So who's saying that people haven't tried? Revolution, those kids tried the revolution. They just didn't get any support from anybody. If those kids had the support from maybe one country, like maybe America, they would have maybe achieved something that would have been maybe changed history forever. And so nobody should call those kids names again. It's our generation that failed. Our generation had no liver, no guts to do anything. The generation of our fathers and all the leaders here, they didn't do anything. The kids of Nigeria, they have given it one shot, and no one should be insulting those kids anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, One Africa. I intend not to get to 12 midnight, but I'm almost there. So, yeah, my comrade, your last thoughts.
All right. If there's any big thing I benefited tonight from my brother, OD, One Africa, he made a point that really touched my heart. That was what I hammered on yesterday. If somebody is setting a trap for you, a bobby trap for that matter, threatening you, want to make you lose your voice, want to intimidate you, want to cow you to submission, let the person know that you're not a coward. Because most of us are born into families we never expected to come from. We're born into polygamies of where your father will have about 3, 4, 5 wives. You can't say because your father is on the side of one wife and your sibling, you want to make yourself an Ibesa. No. So that was the game, the mind game they were playing with the Igbos. So the idea of say somebody there's something to do, so long as I hope Biafra will with the way things are going. I used to preach one Nigeria. With the development, with the recent development, I discovered that the one Nigeria is not working for anybody. So it's a daunting task that cannot be achieved. So when you say I was in a platform today. The caption he had was somebody that lost presidential election has gone to America to to foment trouble against Nigeria. So immediately I rushed in. I didn't know it was a clickbait. Was he Obi that is responsible for this? I got there. I discovered that from beginning to the end, he has nothing to do with Obi. So don't subject yourself to such unnecessary intimidation. If somebody is telling you you are the one responsible for this, you know you are not wrong. It's within your right to do certain things. Tell the person, go to blazes and burn to ashes. So that's the kind of action I want to see. Not if I do now, they will say na me. If they never even mention your name, you begin to run. You have just given them AK-47 with a bullet to shoot you, and that is what they want to see. That is what they want to hear. So I know how bold you guys are. I know how courageous Igbo man is. So don't make yourself subservient and gullible to such manipulation. It's a calculated and a deliberate attempt to silence you people. Don't fall for it. The last time I did that was when I was 13, 14. From 15 and above, somebody spoke to me, woke up the giant in me. I've never remembered the same. In my high institution, my lecturer, not even my VC could intimidate me. The greatest politician in my area, Attorney Oneni, could not intimidate me. I could raise up my hand. If I'm giving the audience, I will talk. They will be surprised. He worked against me, yes. I'm supposed to be bigger than this politically, yes. But I didn't lose my voice. Don't lose your voice for anybody. If there is anything, let them take away your money, destroy your building, destroy this, destroy that, destroy your business. Don't let them destroy your voice. That is the biggest thing you have. When they succeed in capturing your voice, we almost finished. Let nobody take away your voice. And again, I will end by saying, my generation tried. I belong to a generation that captured an aircraft, diverted it to another place for what we believe in. I belong to a generation that fought Babangida to stand still. He had no option than to step aside. I belong to a generation that fought Abacha till till his demise. I belong to a generation that fought for the most popular people's mandate of June 12th. We almost got there, but the winner, was telling us to calm down. Thinking Abacha, after Abacha's death, they were working for his freedom and for his reinstatement. Little did he know that they were actually out to kill him. We would have succeeded more than we did if he gave us the opportunity to do more than we did. But plus and minus, what we wanted to do last, we took Nupeng on our side. They wanted to block all the highways in Nigeria with all their trucks so that there would be no movement. So that was the last thing we wanted to do. But at last, Abiola died, according to them, to balance the equation. We did our only two way. As old as I am, if I have opportunity to do it today, I don't mind. We'll take the next available flight and join the battle. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Jabun, you want to wrap up your end? So.
Thank you. Thank you, my guys. I think it was wise of you in many ways to bring on this show. Everyone said what they have to say. I don't think my questions were answered. However, I know the question isn't an easy one because I haven't got a clue. I have no clue what the aftermath of all of this passage that we're going through at the moment, what the outcome would be. All it is that I'm highly suspicious. I'm afraid for my country and my countrymen. I blame us. I can't help but to blame us. Our country is complicated, but it's not so complicated that we can't run a nation. You know, there are so many people who come with so many philosophies as to why we can't do it. I mean, Africans, black people. And there was one, I forgot this guy's name. His name is is from Benin, living in America. and he holds a podcast, and he puts forward that Africans can't run a country because they never have had a country. He said they've had small villages and small locations, kingdoms, kingships that aren't nations. And whilst I listen to him, I don't agree with him. I do not agree with him. And when we say that we can't run a nation because we have so many different ethnicities, I don't agree with that either. What I think is that we have come into this world having, when I think about my parents and grandparents, I'm not saying there was no dishonesty in that time, but there was a lot more honesty in those times than there is now. I believe we just lie to ourselves. I believe we pretend to lie, we gaslight, talk rubbish, we waylay, we detract, we do all kinds of evil, and we don't seem to understand that that's what we're doing. And for me, it's like, my God, man, this is the reason why we're not able to make headway for ourselves. And I think if we don't look in the mirror, then we are doomed. We are truly doomed. A country like Nigeria breaking up with over 371,100 ethnicities, I don't know where we're all going. All Nigeria's breakup would do is to disturb the whole of West Africa. That's what it would happen. That's what would happen. And once the whole of West Africa is gone, the whole of Africa is finished. Easy pickings all over again for the Western hegemony. So to me, that's where we're entering into, and we don't seem to realize it. Largely because we want to point fingers at each other, cause blame, take no responsibility. I'll end it there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jagun. Thank you, Negs. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you, One Africa. Thank you, Comrade. Thank you, every one of you who have been on the, on the show with us today. I've lost my energy, obviously, and you can see I need to run up before, But it's been a good discussion, and so we're all taking away something from what we have been able to put together. What we are going to do tomorrow also is that, depending on how the court case goes, we may have another emergency broadcast. So we can all be able to discuss and, rub minds once again. For those who are in policy, because we know that government sent people on this platform to come and listen to what we are saying, so that they can hear it very well and go and do it. We know also that their intention is to see how Nnamdi Kanu must be put in prison at all costs. Because, and this is my opinion, because Nnamdi Kanu have exposed their deepest secrets. And I tell you, if Nigeria was to be as an open society like America, people like the former Mrs. Buhari will be bestsellers. But you see, they will all die with those evil and all this that went on inside that Aso Rock. For her, she played a very vital role for which she can be a bestseller if she decides to write what she experienced, especially with those trying to, who were shooting gun at, at her residence in Aso Rock, and how she was able to maneuver and all that. I know that she's a very brilliant woman, so she probably putting some things together. But why am I saying that? I'm saying that Nnamdi Kanu was able to dive into the best kept secret of the North and brought that to the fore. We all know that it was a deliberate attempt to divide tribes into different places. If not, tell me, while you have a thief, a thief tribe in Gongola, otherwise Gombe, you have thief tribe part in Cross River, you have thief tribe in part of Taraba, you have thief tribe part of Nasarawa State. These people used to be together before now, but you divided them so that they no longer have cohesion. So when something is happening to a thief man in the part of Nasarawa State. They say, oh, it's Nasarawa State. They are not TV. They are not from Benue. So there's no longer that unity of purpose that these tribes have. And which is true. How, if you look at the map of Nigeria, how come Kogi State is northern state? It's not. How does it make sense? You know, but all these are contrived to keep Nigeria the way it is, so that the cow will continue to supply milk to those who are milking it, and the farmer who owns the cow will continue to only be able to cut grass and feed, you know, from the dunks of the cow. That's what's going on, you know. And I sometimes I find it so difficult to believe that we are actually fighting for a contraption we did not set up. And even makes it so worse when you read the history of how the name Nigeria came. The name Nigeria came from a girlfriend of Lolugad. You know, when we were growing up, those days reading history told us it's his wife. Well, we now know that they were never married. You know, it was his girlfriend. You know, and probably one evening after he got drunk, they say, "Oh, what should we call these people? Let's just call them bloody niggers, so nigger area, man." And we are still today. We feel so proud to call ourselves Nigerians. They say, "Oh, this nation is sacrosanct. We cannot divide it. It's indivisible." Who gave you that word? Is there anything indivisible on earth? There's nothing like such word. So until we realize that the mistake that we made, we cannot continue to live with it. We sit down, craft a new agreement for every. You see, the good thing is that we're not asking for only the Igbos. We're saying everybody should be equally represented. It does not matter whether your tribe is 10. That is why America remains one of the most powerful states. States that are very small have very powerful voting base. That everybody must go there. If you want to win an election, you must go there and sort their votes. You know, but in our own case, we tend to ignore the people, and we think that the people should be part of us. I mean, so I wouldn't drag it all out. America has no interest, because America can get whatever is in Nigeria without coming to do anything. I can assure you that one, because you have politicians who are ready to sell the country for 1 kobo. You know, and what I say, is there not a politician that was asked, how did you buy a house in Florida? And he said, oh, his wife is an American citizen, his children are American citizen. What else do you need? Your wife's an American citizen and she's a justice of the Federal Republic. What else? Where are the secrets of the country? It's not really there. You yourself, are you not also? So if your wife is here, won't you also be here? You know, this is what we used to have before. Now Nigerians, there's a particular level you get to and you can't cross once you are a dual citizen. But now you see generals in the army who have double parentage. I mean, dual citizen generals. So what secret are we hiding then? Do we even know where Tinubu is from? Can you sincerely say you know where he's from? Do we know where Abacha is from? Abacha was here in Nigeria. What about Buhari? Didn't he say that if we worry him too much, he'll go and meet his cousins in the Niger Republic? So what is the thing that is bringing us national cohesion as a people? Not religion, not the tribe, not even the basis of the fact that we are one nation, because some people are more Nigerians than other people. It doesn't make any sense to me. And because I come to another man's country, they don't ask me, where are you from? Nobody cares where you are from. Every privilege is extended to you. As long as you're a good citizen of their country, that's all they're concerned about. Then in my own country, where I should have a high stake, you make me look like a stranger. You make me look like a visitor. If I put you see, Omoibo, to the point that you even have to do an advertisement, say Omoibo, we don't want Omoibo to cheat you. Come on. You know? So we need to wake up. It's either we want to have a country or we don't want to have a country. I believe that every part of Nigeria can stand on its own if they decide to. There are countries that are less than 1 million people. Ghana is 40 million people. Igbos are more than 40 million. Yorubas are more than 40 million. Hausas are more than 40 million. So we can all become countries. You know, the Middle Belt can become a country of its own. we either want to be a nation or we don't want to be. We can even reverse back to what we used to be before, during independence. Every region had their own embassies. Every region were representing their people on their own embassies, so that the power at the center is reduced and development can flow from every side. We have to think progressively, and we have to think proactively before it becomes too late. Because you see, we can no longer continue to do things and be hiding, because now the world has become a television station. Everybody see whatever everybody is doing. You know, there was a UPS plane crash somewhere in America. Everybody knows. The whole world has heard about it. So it's not going to be like tomorrow. You say, well, no. It's everywhere. The atrocities of Boko Haram, ISWAP, whatever they call themselves, that's going on is known. And you see, one of the things I find so difficult to believe that our politicians are thinking Americans don't know. Are you for real? The Americans know. The British know. Even the Chinese know. The French know. Everyone knows. So you're sending delegates to come and speak to American senators and American come and lobby. You are just wasting your time. You just want to spend your money. They will eat your money for nothing. Because they know they have more intelligence than you have. They have. I can assure you they have more. You know, because they don't play. If they were playing with their own country, their country will not be safe, because they know they have many enemies. And the Igbos have a proverb: a man that have many enemies used to guard his life. You don't leave it for anybody. You guard yourself properly. You know. So that's what will rest the case. For those who are here to represent and speak on behalf of government, please take back the message. Our message tonight is we want to be a country. And if you people are not interested in being one country, with one law, one rule for everybody, nobody is above the law. That's what I mean by rule of law. Everybody is all equal under the law. If we cannot have it, let's peacefully sit down and shake hands and divide. If we want to have a country, then let's have a country and let everybody, let the country run on equal terms with every region. It doesn't matter if they are Angas and you think they are 50. Okay, let them also have the same right as those who are with 100 million. That is the only way they will feel the sense of belonging and they will put in their best. If you want to have people to put in their best, you have to give them ownership. I think that is what is taught in management. If you want to bring in your staff to work as hard as they can, you give them part of the business. You make them feel along. You don't make them look as if they are here to serve you. You know. Based on that, I want to just thank you. Thank you, Tope, my dear sister, for supporting us. That your money will help us go a long way. Please, we're about okay, we have come down to 91 now. We used to be 100 and something. Please let the 91 people go and like this broadcast, so I can be, Facebook, YouTube can now spread it across more platforms, so that we all can, always have a useful idea, cross-pollinating ideas every time we meet. On that faithful note, I would like to say thank you so much, everybody. Thank you all. God bless you. You have been so kind to be with us, even at a very short notice. Okay, my uncle doesn't want us to keep using him, so let's go and use something else across the broadcast. Until we meet you tomorrow, God's willing, have a good night, all of you. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.